dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
There we are, gentlemen.
Can you dig it,
We
Steve?
are. I can.
Right.
I can indeed.
Once again, we're back with the now officially the hold on, I got
Yeah,
the
that's-
Phillies pregame on here. Oh, the Phillies game is staying on. That way we can give updates if needed. But the
Just turn your volume down.
this is now
There you
the
go.
Absolute Vodka live at the Landis podcast.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Thank you, Absolute Vodka. They are in the backpack here with a very well lit sign, I might say. Absolute Vodka. Look at that on the bottom. We are getting classy, man. If you
Hell
can make
yeah,
a
man.
bottle dance by, that would be cool as hell.
Look at us. Yeah. Casey, get on
We're working on it over here. We're working on it.
it. Get on it.
Casey's getting there.
And we have to mention the other sponsor because this will be, I think we have one more week after that to announce their October
Mhm.
with Monster Mania.
Yes. Well, they're technically sponsoring Rocktober at the Landis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been so it's the Beast, the Beast by Monster Beverages,
Mhm.
and of course Monster Mania with Dave Hagen. I was gonna actually I wanted to have Dave on, and I talked to him, and he is out of town.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to have him on for the last week, but he's out of town, unfortunately. But Dave, we love you. We look forward to talking to you again, seeing you again. And thank you for Monster Mania. Will you leave my goddamn microphone alone? He is fucking. The reason we have these headphone sets is because Mr. Microphone over here.
There you go. Sounds much better now.
Remember Mr. Microphone?
There you go.
Yes,
Remember
yes,
that?
I do.
He used to ride in the back of their car. I'm a star.
We're showing our age.
That's
man.
you.
We're
Oh my
showing
God.
I'm getting you
our
a shirt that says
age.
Mr. Microphone.
Mr. Mike.
All right. Phillies are warming up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, tonight, what do we got? We got a couple of the guys from Back in Black, our AC/DC tribute that's played here. How many times, Case? This is their fourth, fifth time?
This will be their fourth time
You
back.
want to
Wow.
slide
Yeah.
on over a little
Yeah,
bit?
no,
Casey?
dude, they are.
There you
They
go. Now
are.
we look like we know each other.
I was lucky enough to see, AC/DC several times live
Yeah,
back in the day in the '80s.
Mhm.
With was it Bon Scott, and then when what's his name took over?
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. That's it.
And Tony, who sings for this band, is just. I mean, he emulates both of them so perfectly.
Mhm.
And that's hard to
Yeah.
do, man. That's a really hard thing to do.
What blows me away about this
It is.
band, though, is Dan. So Dan, I believe you pronounce his name Mulkin. He is. They call him Dangus because he is the living epitome of Angus Young. You see this kid. Wait till you see this kid live. You swear to God, you're back in the stadium
Mhm.
watching Angus Young when in his youth. It's unbelievable. I mean, every move, but just the way he looks reminds you of him. So I fell in love with them the day they were here. And they also play the Jack, which is one of the dirty songs from AC/DC.
Yes.
That they play for me
that
every
song.
time they come here, which is pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. Pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
But they're on. But before them, this year, it's not necessarily an opening act. It's kind of like a two-band
Co-headliner.
two-band show. Yep, and it is a new band we've never had here before. They're a Guns N' Roses tribute called Appetite for Destruction, and we have I believe their Slash is coming on. What's his name?
John Ricotta.
John Ricotta. He is
Ricotta,
the
yes.
Slash of theirs. So we have him around 7:30, a half hour before this Phillies game starts. Sorry, I'm going to keep staring at the screen.
That's it.
This is it,
Hasn't
baby.
even started yet.
And
Here we are.
if you are listening in and you're watching the Phillies as well, or you want to watch the Phillies, you always come down to Casey Ray's because tonight we have the Casey Ray's Game 7 sandwich, which
No
is
shit.
a buffalo chicken cheesesteak topped with beer mac and cheese
What?
with bacon crumbles.
My
You get some fries and a
God.
pickle with a half sandwich, includes a 16-ounce Budweiser or soft drink.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
If you buy it, $7
yeah.
because it's Game 7.
Ah.
We have a Schwarber shot that is $5. The reason it's $5 is, well, it should be more than that with the liquor that's in it, but it's
Hell
$5 because he has hit 5 home runs so far in the
Wow.
series.
Mhm.
If he is to hit another one, the drink will go to $6. So you better get him while you can because every home run, drink goes up. So my hopes are he hits 10 home runs tonight and everybody wants to drink Schwarber shots.
Hell yeah.
So we will leave here happy tonight.
We shall
Other than that, we
leave
also
happy.
have coming up this weekend. We have a Night on Elm Street marathon, kind of like we did with the Friday the 13th one. Steve and I had a good time with that too. It was a lot of fun. We actually sat through. We actually, believe it or not, after the third one, because we had interviewed the what was the lady's name from the fourth Friday
Man,
13th film that we
what was
remember
her
the
name?
twin sister.
Casey wasn't here for that one.
Oh my gosh.
Carrie Moore.
Carrie Moore.
Yeah.
See,
You're
this is
awesome.
why she's the producer, and we
Yes.
just sit here and look pretty. But Carrie, Steve and I actually went over to my place and we watched the fourth movie.
That's awesome.
So we sat with everybody here, watched the three movies, and watched the fourth one. Don't think we're going to do that with Elm Street because the fourth one was not very good. But to me, the third one, which is
Oh,
Dream
yeah,
Warriors, was
dude.
my favorite. Dream Warriors was such a good movie, and I had spoke to Jaron from the Lynch Mob. Of course, you know he's also was with Tantric, and he's with Heaven's Edge still. They're on a plane touring. Of course, we were going to try and get George on too because they're of course their new album came out. Did their album come out today, Case, or was it earlier this week?
It came out on October 20th.
Okay, so their new album is out. Jaron's on it, of course, a good friend of mine, good friend of the people here. And we wanted to get George on because George was part of Dokken, who did the theme song for the Dream Warriors song. Dream Warriors.
Oh, I love that song.
Remember that song? Oh man, what a song, man!
Absolutely.
But his guitar licks in it, so he wanted to come on and talk to it, but like I said, he's very busy with the new album and they're traveling. So, but we will at the end we'll promote that album a little bit. We'll show people a picture of it and everything. And see
Dude, I was a
Right, get it.
gigantic Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy
man.
Krueger fan.
Dude.
I had I grew up in the 80s, early 90s. My parents went out to a video store, got me a cardboard stand out of Freddy that they put in my room.
Oh, really?
Dude, it was awesome. It was really cool. I was really hardcore into Freddy.
I was
Now, what
hardcore
was the-
scared of Freddy.
What was the damn? What was the crossover with
Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's the only crossover they had for that.
Yeah.
Besides Rick
They-
and Morty.
They wanted
Yes.
to do
Hey,
more.
bitch.
That's right. They wanted to do
They
more.
wanted
of them,
to
yeah.
do there. There
Yeah.
was talks of even bringing Ash in at one point. There
Oh,
was
yeah.
talks of
Really?
Michael Myers at one point. I'd love to see all that, but it's past that time now.
Yeah. And the problem is too, like what was it? What they call it? Craven's New Nightmare or something. The last.
Yeah, I
one?
did like
Mhm.
that one a
And
lot.
I just didn't like it. To me, that's not my Freddy Krueger. It's,
Yeah.
it's just not.
I
know-
think it took the idea and went in a totally new direction. Because after Freddy's dead, you had to do something if you were going to bring him back out into the world.
Mhm.
Well,
So
what are you gonna do? I mean, it's
So it
they're
was that
horror
he was
movies.
his
He's just
ultimate-
there.
yeah.
You don't need an excuse. You don't need.
Right,
It's
right.
just
Right.
I don't know. For me, when they try to do that remake, like when they did the remake of Friday the 13th, he's still wearing a mask. It's Jason. You know what I mean? It was a little different. It wasn't
Right.
the same, but
Mhm.
it's not. It was. I don't know. It's just. I don't know. I didn't care for. I thought it was visually really good. I thought it was portrayed good. I just didn't like that Freddy Krueger because I was so used to Robert Englund.
oh, that was
You know what I mean?
awful.
And I really
Yeah.
like Robert. I think I told you, Robert Englund before. He's one of those people. You watch him in a million movies, and you're like, oh Lord, this guy needs to find an acting class
Mhm.
real quick. But you put that makeup on him, and you put the claw on his hand, and that man lives Freddy. He scares the shit out of you. He
I-
was made for that role.
I believe he was in It, the new It, or he was in a
He might have
recent
been.
horror movie.
Dude, he's been in a bad.
think so.
Well, I worked on Jenna Jameson, the Zombie Strippers with her.
I remember that.
Yeah, well, don't remember it too much. I did. I did a little work on that film, and he was on the. And it's just one of those films where it's like,
Mhm.
it's not even the film. I mean, he played the club owner, I believe, or something in it, and it was just like, it was just bad. I mean,
Yeah.
But Freddy Krueger, there's no one better.
Yeah, no,
There's just
no.
no one that gives you what he gave you.
Mhm.
He gave, and this is what was it? Johnny Depp's first film, I believe.
Yes.
This might have been
Yep.
maybe
Yes.
at least one of his first films up
Mhm.
there. And what year was that, Kate? I know. I
wanna
think
say
we had that in our
84.
notes.
1984. Yeah.
1984.
He was 21 years old.
That's
There
And-
you go.
The director's daughter thought he was cute, so that's why he got the job. It was supposed to be Charlie Sheen.
oh, thank
Ah.
God.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, right, right.
Can you imagine? That wouldn't have worked. Well, I don't know. I could love seeing him get sucked through a bloody bed, though.
Mhm.
But who would have thought watching Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street that he would be what he is
Mhm.
now?
Yeah.
Like his entire personality is
and
different.
somehow
His-
he would go from that film,
getting his
through
bed shit on.
all the films he's went through, to doing yoga hosers.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah.
was he thinking?
Yes.
Know what he was thinking? He was thinking it's Kevin Smith, who we all love. Kevin, I love you, buddy.
Kevin's awesome.
But he said it's an opportunity to work with my daughter,
Mhm.
Kevin and his daughter, and apparently nobody read the script and said, "Oh, there's a little Kevin Smith running around like a turd monster, or whatever the fuck he was, little
I haven't
little
seen
Nazi guy."
this.
Oh, please, man, do yourself a favor and drink a lot, and then watch that film. I mean, drink a lot and watch that film. We are. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm looking back at the Phillies over here. Oh, I thought something was going on. No, sorry, it's just me. It's just me. What time are we at? We have John coming on at 7:30, I believe. We have Dan. Again, we were talking about Dangus. We call him Dangus,
Yep.
for our Angus Young, as well as Tony.
Does he
from
have
Back
that
in Black and Info.
unrelenting energy when he's up there?
Dude,
Does he do
Dangus?
the
Yeah.
floor
Oh my God.
spins
you
and-
ready for?
Yeah.
I want to talk to him about how he gets ready for it.
Yes.
Because I think you're going to be shocked at how he gets ready.
Yes.
For this.
fucking 8-ball?
Yeah. No, man.
No.
No, you think, but it in a way, but it's a very legal version of that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes.
I think you told me before.
We give it to kids.
Yeah, I think yeah, you definitely
Crack!
told me.
Mhm.
Crack.
Yeah, depending where you live.
Razor blades and apples.
Kids on crack is a very good thing. It's a very good thing. I just want to see what happens in this game so bad.
Has it even started yet?
It
It is now in the pregame, which you can watch on TBS.
starts at 8:07.
Oh, we got
Oh, is it
time,
8:07?
gentlemen.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm sitting here waiting for it to start.
That's why I was trying to tell you. It doesn't start for a while.
Ah, shit.
Doesn't
Oh,
start
well.
for a bit. and
I'm
then
not
it
going to
goes in the front
giving
here.
any updates on the game apparently. But real quick, I want to go back to we did this little film thing, and I thought it was really cool. It worked really well. We did the 3D Jason movie, came out really well, and we had the 28th was originally Tool tribute, and which is Schism, which
Schism,
again, dude, you talk about it. I hate that fucking word tribute too. Well, it's an experience,
Right.
dude. That was an experience, and they put on one hell of a show. I'm a huge Tool fan. We usually play Tool every night after shows, like once people are out or to get people out. You know what I mean? Like if you have like a Winona concert, the best way to get people
Oh,
out
for
is
sure.
start playing Tool.
For sure.
Yes, but Schism is just when I tell you everything, and then here with our lights and our visuals, it just, dude, it was ridiculously good show.
Mhm.
But Tool decided to go on tour, and one of their dates kind of coincides within a few weeks of them playing here, Schism.
Gotcha.
So it didn't make any sense. So we moved. Where did we move Schism to? Did we get a date yet?
I don't know if we have a new official date yet.
Okay, I think we're still waiting to see where, because I think they're still releasing dates for the Tool tour.
Gotcha.
So we're waiting on that. But Schism will return. So we didn't know what to do for the 28th. We kind of juggled some things around, and we said, look, let's just do another movie marathon. So this time it is Casey. You know, I'm going to bring you back on. What are we charging for that?
$5.
Yeah, we're charging $5 for
$5.
all three of the first.
You
I
can't.
mean,
So
all three
that's
first in these
$1
movies.
for every razor claw on his glove.
There it is.
Put it that way.
There you go.
Right?
That works.
Right. So you get 3 movies, all in sequence. The first one, second one, third one. The third one, which I love. Again, love Dream Warriors. And last time I think we included a drink and popcorn. This time it's just the films.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it made sense last time because it was $13.
Yeah,
because it was
right.
Friday the 13th. So,
Yes.
but I don't see charging that much to see these 3 movies. I mean, they're older films. You can watch them at home, but you come here, you get to watch them with great sound. Great
Hell
subs
yeah.
on a big 4K screen. And enjoy them kind of like the way they were back in the day.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually cool because Steve had mentioned when we were doing the other films that the difference too is you got to remember this is backlit. This is a video wall,
Yeah.
and it's kind of neat watching it that way. And I think it helped the 3D.
It definitely did.
Yeah, for the
Yeah, it
for
made
the
it really pop.
for the
There was
third
actually,
film where-
You brought that broomstick out.
Yo,
and it's
man, that thing, like,
right.
hit you
We're
in
in
the
the back,
face,
and it was
man. It
right
was
over our
crazy.
heads.
There
It
was
awesome.
a 3D Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
I think it was like the
Yes.
4th or 5th one.
I think it
Yes.
was Freddy's Dead. Because I think they put the glasses on
Was that the 5th
towards
one?
the. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the 5th
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I know there was a 3D one, but was it the red and white glasses, or was it by the time they had the new?
It
glasses?
was still the red and white.
Was it or
Yeah.
red and not red?
Red-
Red,
well,
and blue.
red and blue, yeah.
Well, the glass is white, so the red, white, and blue. American 3D. America, fuck yeah. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. Again, like I said, AC/DC. This band is great. I have not seen the Appetite for Destruction band. I have seen videos, and they seem straight out another experience versus tribute act.
So they do the whole look and
Yes.
presentation
Yep,
and all that.
yep,
That's awesome.
Yep. And that's kind of where AC/DC Miguel, who is basically the band leader for. I think Miguel might come on. I'm not sure if he. I did give him the link, and I hope he does come on. I love Miguel. He's become a good friend of ours here too. Like whenever there's like things going on, he'll get a hold of us, and we help him with Facebook and things of that nature. But he really keeps the band together. He's like the band leader, but he comes out with where they have the cannon.
No
Right?
shit.
Yeah, they had the cannon. And one year Steve lit the cannons up. Remember that? He put some lights like in the cannon. So when they were, doing, for those about to rock, the cannons were lighting up. It was really cool. Steve puts the geysers out, of course. They have their own geysers.
They got the bell.
They have the bell.
Yeah.
Well, we're one of the places where we hang the bell. Now this year, I don't know if we can because we take that down.
Yeah, we could shove it back up there.
Yeah, because we had a thing
Figure
that
something out.
a little thing that would lower like a ball or bell, and we had the
You
bell.
know, oddly enough, we never actually ever in any of those times that we had that on a winch, we never raised or lowered it. We just got it up to where it was.
No, I think it's cool
and
just
hung.
hanging up there.
Yeah.
The first
So it will hang somewhere.
The first time
up
they
there.
were here, if you remember,
One way or
it was sitting on the front of the stage the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's just cooler actually having it hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had rigged that for Heaters, didn't we? Heaters musical.
Yeah, that's for Heather's. Yeah.
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 So we rigged that for a
Right behind your
a
head.
big 8-foot mirror
I was
ball.
lucky enough to see AC/DC live once. I went with my brother, who's no longer with us, but one of the most memorable parts of that whole show for me was that bell, because
Oh, yeah.
like they had the rope that hung underneath, and Brian Johnson's just swinging from that.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Dude, I love. Oh my god.
No, that was so. What tour was that? Because I remember seeing that set.
That was Stiff Upper Lip.
Yeah, so that was one of the
That was
later
God
tours.
like
Yeah.
20 years ago already.
Yeah, time flies. So I saw him, I think, first probably in early 80s, like maybe 82, 83, maybe.
Fly on the Wall.
I was in high school.
era?
Yeah, but that was when they were like, right. It might have even been like 1980. Yeah, it might have been like eighth or ninth grade.
Okay.
But it was like one of those.
That would have
it
been like
was-
the Back in Black.
Yeah, that's
era.
what I'm saying. It was like back. Yeah, it was. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think it was Back in Black because that was
That's
the record.
awesome.
That was the record. Because
Yeah.
because The Game was out by Queen at that point. Rush had dropped Moving Pictures.
Yeah.
Remember that album? That was a great year. Let me tell you, talk about a great time for music, man. The
What
late
was Back in
70s,
Black?
early 80s, man.
85?
Yeah. So
Would that have been
it wouldn't have been.
1985?
No, it would have been earlier than that. Yeah. Casey, when did Back in Black come out?
1980.
Was it 80? It had to be like 80,
1980.
81 because that's when I saw the tour.
Yeah, it was 80.
Yeah, because that and again, that's one of those albums. But prior to that, you had all their like raw, hard material.
Well, this was the first. Back in Black was the first album that featured Brian Johnson.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
That Bon Scott had just passed away,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
like so that was God. Back in Black is the biggest selling album of all time.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Metallica's Black Album. It was like the change in the band.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
There was like this total change in the music. I mean, it wasn't as hard driven as it was, like the Jack and stuff like that. Now it was different.
Yeah.
But I love it. And again, when you see these guys, there's a lot of one thing we are inundated with here is Ozzy Osbourne tributes and AC/DC tributes.
There's a million of them.
So the ones we bring in, again, we like to call them experiences because they're so much more than a tribute. And these guys really, again, you close your eyes, and especially with Tony's voice, and you swear you're back again in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, whenever you went to see them, sitting there in an AC/DC concert again. And then if you open your eyes and Dangus just happens to be walking across seats, he comes down, he walks across the seats. I mean, he does the whole 9 yards.
That's
Just on the
awesome.
floor.
Yeah, he is one of the better entertainers that we have come
That's
through
incredible.
here. I mean, the guy, he has a routine that he does right before the show.
As long as he's not like
dude,
mooning
he
everybody
turns-
like
no, no,
Angus.
nothing like that. But he turns
I
into a
forgot Angus
different
mooned
person.
people.
Every show.
I mean,
Yeah.
he turns into an entirely different person when he comes up for that. He is the quietest person you'll ever meet. I mean, literally, once sound check is done or his part of sound check is done, he goes out and sits in the audience by himself and doesn't talk to anybody. And then 20 minutes before, bam.
Yeah, he becomes
Dangus comes out.
Dangus becomes Dangus. Dan and I
Dangus
actually
comes out.
hit. I think the first time they were here, him and I hit it off really well. And he's actually we would talk online and stuff. He's a good dude. And he came down for a couple of shows, and I know he lives. Where does he live, Case?
Landisville.
Landis, yeah, that's what it was. He
Mhm.
lives in Landisville.
That's
PA.
funny.
yep.
That's funny.
So, and it's a ride for him, but he's come down to a couple shows, just to support the theater, support us, and just come down, as a friend and watch a couple shows with us. He's a really good dude, man.
That's really cool.
really good,
Yeah.
very, very quiet kind of guy, but he's very, you can, there's a lot of, you meet people and they're the quiet type, but
Yep.
they have so much inside, like between, just intelligence and just like, there's something special going
Yep.
on. And this guy's got it, and he really does. He's really got it. And then you put Miguel and Tony. And who's the other guy in the band? I can't remember his name. It's not off the top of my
You
head.
got it in front
Bobby?
of us. I
Is the
think.
other guy?
Is it
But the other
Bobby?
guitar player? Yeah.
Is it Bobby?
Yeah.
He's the guitar. He's
And
he's
then I
phenomenal,
mean,
too.
there's somebody else in that band too, but I don't.
Steve
we don't,
Manola.
we don't
Meagle?
know him at all.
Meagle?
I don't know that guy.
Oh, the drummer. We don't
Could
talk
not
about
tell
that.
you.
We don't talk about
Not
Oh,
spent a
man.
single minute with him. He's
matter of
definitely
fact,
not slept in my office.
when they left when the other drummer of this band left,
Mhm.
I told them the best thing instead of Steve was to just get a drum machine, because just get a drum machine, man. Just put a Benandy costume back
Benandy
there.
on
No,
drums.
Benandy
Steve
on
is
drums, but-
Steve is the man. We obviously share a name, but he is one of those people that also brings just such a crazy energy to that group. And he just really pounds drums, and a lot of drummers, they kind of fade into the black and fade into the back there, but not him. Steve stands out. He
He
definitely
was
stands out.
so I'm hoping Steve can come on right at the end. He is
Mhm.
actually teaching classes up in North Jersey
Gotcha.
as a drummer. That he was
Mhm.
one of the instructors for the School of Rock.
Yes.
The gentleman that we brought in for American Idiot, to basically, I guess he was the musical director,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Nick.
Nick, he was also with the School of Rock, and he worked with Steve and brought Steve in to play drums for the American Idiot, which of course is all Green Day music.
Yep.
Mhm.
This guy's unbelievable, right? He's half the size of this Steve, but man, he's one hell of a drummer. And Miguel was asking, they had lost their drummer, and I told you he kind of became friends of ours, and he texted us and said, "Yeah, man, we're looking for a drummer." And I'm like, dude, I know a guy, man. I know a guy, and he's phenomenal. And he, taught at School of Rock, the whole 9 yards, gave him the whole spiel. And I hooked him up, and I guess they had a couple like auditions or whatever. And then they took him out to a show and let him play a show and audition. And ever since then, he's been with the band.
That's awesome.
And he's great. And for me, it makes me happy because this is a guy who's such a good drummer. He's out there being seen now, not
Yeah.
teaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They say those who can't do teach.
Right.
Well, this guy can do, and he needs to be out there doing, not
Mhm.
teaching. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I hear you.
He's phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve is one of, and again, a friend of ours. Our dogs love him. He's just a great guy. He brought his girlfriend last time. He's got
Mhm.
a girl now. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Steve's got a lady. But so we should be close to. Have we heard from Miguel at all? You know what? I'm going to text them and see where they are. It is about 7:30. We're supposed to have our appetite guys on here. And it's my fault because I did not give the information to Casey to get a hold
I
of
was watching a video, a recent video of GNR. It was like a promo video. And the first thing that went through my mind is watching that video is how Axel really tightened himself up. He looks fantastic. He
Mhm.
looks like he really took the job seriously. Like they're no longer known for the shit they did back in the
Are you talking about the
90s.
new Axl Rose, the real Axl Rose?
Yeah, the real.
Tightened himself up.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah. They grabbed him by his face.
No,
They
no, no,
pulled
no.
it behind him, and his fucking tightened himself
Closed
up.
him.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
disagree 100%. He
Yeah.
sucks. Horrible human being. Horrible. Dude,
I think he's paid.
he
his
looks like
dues.
Joan Rivers before she died. So he's got so much plastic surgery on that dude, man. It's ridiculous.
I wasn't even looking face wise. I was thinking body wise.
I-
Like he was heavy set when GNR first got back together. He's actually toned down. He's like fit now. Like every show is going on time. All the fears that everybody had at GNR getting back together,
Mhm.
like never came to
Yeah, but it's,
fruition.
it's a
thank
different
God.
world. I mean, when they
It
came
is a
together
different world. That's
originally,
100%.
they were opening up I don't know if I saw them when they were, nobody even knew who the hell they were. They were opening up for Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls tour.
Yeah.
I saw them in Atlanta, Georgia. And he actually got locked up that night, third song in, for somebody threw a bottle on stage because whatever they were singing, nobody liked. And somebody hit him with a bottle. And he jumped off the stage and started like trying to fight somebody in the front row. And they actually locked him up. The band finished out the song, basically just, whatever the reverse of acapella, instrumental.
Yeah.
And they just kind of kept going. They looked around, and I just remember they're like, have a good night. And they walked off the stage. And we're like, okay.
Mhm.
And then Motley Crue, now you had to wait another 45 minutes. So now you got a crew. This was at the Omni in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And it was one of those shows, man, where you're like, this is it. And then it wasn't even 6 months later. Their songs are all over the radio.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When they were great. But he was also known as, being a jackass.
I remember when
the
he
first
was-
time I ever saw him, he was a jackass.
When he was jumping off stage, fighting photographers, and
That's what I mean. I mean, he's always had that attitude. And then, I don't think his voice is that good anymore. And,
no, and what?
And what he did to his face, though, I mean, dude, all the plastic surgery. I mean, come on, man. It's just like, you look ridiculous now. You look absolutely ridiculous. But this band is playing, hopefully, the original. We're going back to that original look, that original feel of what I loved about Guns N' Roses. Because I saw them after that. I actually went to see a Guns N' Roses show. I can't remember who opened up for that, but it was a fucking great show.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was rock and roll.
I went back when they first got
was-
back together in 2016, when Not in This Lifetime tour,
Mhm.
that they were at the Link. I saw that show, and I'm trying to remember who the hell opened for that, and I can't remember.
What was the band? Oh my god, I saw them at the Spectrum. The Slash and man, who was it? The dude
Velvet
from STP,
Revolver?
Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a story for you while we're waiting for these guys to come on. Case, are they up yet? Because the screen doesn't have like it usually has people on the bottom, so I can't tell.
Nope.
Yeah.
On the room.
So
Yep.
I went to see Velvet Revolver at the Spectrum. All right, and it was who was the goalie for the Flyers that had vertigo? He ended up becoming the coach to the Phantoms. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's sitting next to me. It's him, and his wife or girlfriend at the time, whatever it was, and we just got to talking. And if you remember, he had Slash on his helmet.
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
him?
I do remember.
It was him.
Hackett.
Well, it's Hackett.
Hackett.
So Hackett's. I'm sitting like literally next to him. We're like in the front row, and we just start talking. I'm like, oh shit, man! I had Flyers tickets. It was so cool. I'm sitting next to this, and he's a cool dude. Like, yeah, man, you're doing the Phantoms now, right? He goes, yeah, they're behind us. I turn around. There's the entire Phantoms team is
No
behind
shit.
us. Yeah, and they're all smoking weed, and they're passing joints around and shit. And the best
God,
part-
I miss the Phantoms.
he's Canadian, so he had that accent and everything. We're talking. We're like probably 45 minutes before the show. We're just shooting the shit. He takes my number. I take his number. I lost it too, dude. I was like, dude, I'm gonna call. I'm like, oh fuck, I lost his number. You know what I mean?
Ah,
They
man.
didn't have fucking cell phones back then. We had the damn flip phones and shit, right? But I never forget.
Rolodex.
He's loving. He's always talking about Slash. They have this like kabuki curtain up, and it drops, and there's this huge just like backdrop lit up like a neon thing that just says rock and fucking roll.
Mhm.
And that was the backdrop for the whole show. Dude,
Mhm.
the second that thing dropped and they rock, this show never, and I just remember him looking at me going, rock and fucking roll. And that was the end of it, man. We were gone the rest of the time. And we were drunk and
That's
stupid,
one
but-
band I wish I could have seen, man.
But it was such a good show, man. It was like, that was a band. And
I'm sure.
And that was, Slash is just amazing. I don't care what Slash has ever done. From
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, remember he played
Yeah.
on the what was
Beat It.
Beat It? Was it Beat It?
Not
No,
Beat It.
that was
that
Eddie
was
Van
Van
Halen.
Halen. That was Eddie. Yeah,
Slash played on Black or White.
Black
yeah.
or
That was
White,
that's what it was. Yep. So it's Slash is just one of those guys, man. No matter where he goes, it's like he's like the man. And I love Slash.
What's
man.
funny and what's interesting, I just pieced this together. I saw Slash's Snake Pit open up for that AC/DC show that I went to.
Oh, really? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was Slash's Snake Pit. And
See, I never saw that one.
their singer at that time was garbage. Hot garbage. Slash was great,
He's
but
always
his
great,
singer
though.
was terrible.
Yeah.
But I seen Adler's Appetite, and Eric Min,
seen
who
them
now
too.
sings, Eric Min, who now sings for me. I think he's Argentinian or something along those lines. Is phenomenal. But the singer he had before that was Another terrible singer.
See, that's
Yeah.
the one I don't know about. I don't remember the because the only one I remember he had a good singer.
Eric Kamin, who now sings for him,
He's
is
the
fantastic.
good one. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice. He's got it, and it's a shame when you get a guitar player like that. Look at the Lynch Mob. I mean, this guy singing for the Lynch Mob. What was his name? He's phenomenal, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my
He
yeah.
is phenomenal.
young guy too.
Oh, young dude. He came out. So I didn't get to see him before the show. We were doing all of our stuff. We got the Lynch Mob show all programmed. We got everything going. Watch the show. I'm like, man, this singer is good. Show's over. Everyone's gone. They're packing up, doing their thing. And this young guy, like skinny dude's walking around the lobby. I'm like, yo, bro. I said, this place is closed. You got to go. He's the singer, man. I'm like, wait a minute. What? You got
It
real
was.
skinny and real short real quick.
It would
So-
be Gabriel Cologne.
Yes.
Gabriel Cologne.
Yes.
Gabriel Cologne. Dude, what a singer.
You know who he
Yeah.
reminded me of? Have you heard the newest Skid Row album?
I have not. No.
They have a new lead singer who used to sing for the band Heat, which is
Oh,
big
okay.
overseas. And the singer for Heat is fantastic. Skid Row has like a new great sound that they haven't had in years.
I think we looked at Skid Row. I know Piercy. We looked at Stephen Piercy.
Yeah.
And we pushed that show off. But I don't know if we talked about Skid Row or not, but I remember they were in some conversation.
I think we were talking to them, but they didn't actually come this way.
Is that what
So
it
it would
was?
have had to have been like a one-off fly.
Yeah, which is just so
Bunch of
expensive.
stuff.
Yeah.
Try and get these bands in, and here at the Landis, the one thing we try to do is keep the ticket price as low as possible.
Yeah.
We just want people to come out and experience music still. It's one of the biggest problems I think we're having now is, a lot of venues are closing. There's not a lot of music out there. A lot of these tribute acts, again, I like to call them more of an experience when they're here. They're playing bars and they're playing all these small places. There's not a lot of theaters left. There's a few in this area. Like they play a little. Most of them you'll see they kind of go up to New York from here and play a few bigger theaters. But outside that, they're playing bars. And it's a shame because these are such good musicians. They're putting on such good shows.
Yeah.
I mean, that bigger stage is what they deserve.
What
and
trips
they just
me
don't have
out,
it.
and you guys announced Octane coming up, was how quickly, and as much as I know about music, and I know a shit ton about music, I had never heard of Octane.
Oh, really?
And they have almost completely sold out that show.
Have you listened to their album?
I haven't.
Oh,
I'm
you need to put
going
that
to
album
listen
on,
to
bro.
it on the way home
You should put that album on. You're going to be like, holy shit, these guys are good.
because, I'll definitely be here that
Oh,
night.
I'm excited too, man. I was literally just talking to one of the band members today. We're going back. They are on 93.3 WMMR tomorrow morning, I believe, at 8 a.m. on the Preston and Steve show.
Killer.
And
Awesome.
they will be giving away, I think, four.
Gosh.
There you go.
Yeah.
The tickets are selling fast.
Make that
That's
So
chance
they're
almost
almost
sold out.
gone.
That's
You guys
almost-
want to see this show, you better get your tickets
But
now.
they are giving away tickets tomorrow morning on the Preston and Steve show, 8 a.m. And I believe there are 4 or 6 pair of tickets are going out. So that'll be a lot of fun too.
Oh,
'cause,
yeah.
Preston and Steve are fantastic. So they'll have a lot to say on there, and hopefully that'll probably sell out what's remaining,
Yeah,
which is a
there
lot.
are well under 200 tickets.
Yeah,
left for
so
that
there's
show,
not a
so-
lot of tickets left for that show. So if you want to see Octane, I would say you need to get those.
I was
tickets.
talking to somebody when I was here Saturday for the $1 Zillion Baby show, and they're like, "Oh, you know so and so? He's the hairdresser to the stars." And I'm like, a band member for Octane. I was like, I really
Oh.
have no idea who that person is.
Oh, I wonder who that is.
So apparently, there's a hairdresser to the stars as a member of Octane.
Oh, that's awesome.
Interesting.
Casey's mother's a hairdresser.
Ah,
Also, speaking of hairdressers,
Yes.
we do have Buddy Blanche coming in
yes,
with his Van Halen tribute.
yep.
Romeo Delight.
Romeo's Delight
Delight will be here. What's that date, Case? Next weekend, right?
next weekend.
November
Yeah.
4th.
November
8 p.m.
4th.
Yep.
Can't
So
believe it's gonna be
he's
November.
also a hairdresser. He does all the. Have you ever seen his wife do his hair? Dude, their hair is always perfect. It's like that
Mhm.
that the Werewolves of London song. It's like their hair
His
is
hair was
perfect.
perfect.
But they he's also a hairdresser. He does like the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders and stuff.
Yeah, I was to say he's
No
another.
shit.
That's who I thought you were bringing up at
Yeah,
first.
no,
but
no, like-
it's funny.
So
Forgive my sniffles today too. I think I had whatever was going around, man. I'm kind of getting. the
He's
sniffs
allergic to
today.
my bullshit.
Yeah.
He
Steve went to
he and Casey are both.
just so we know.
don't.
Steve went to the Phillies game last night. All right, and they lost like never before.
They'll
It was
win
a
tonight.
horrible game.
they'll win.
So our
tonight.
hopes are that Steve
I
is
ain't
here
there.
tonight, so the Phillies will win.
Yeah,
What
I
were
was
they
telling
doing?
Ray last night. I said I've only seen them lose, I think, twice in my entire life live. I mean, like in person.
Wow.
Games
Yeah,
that
I
I've
wish
been
I
to,
could say that.
they were mostly wins when I went and
I wish
saw
I
them.
could
And
say that. Well, I was
last night
lucky
was
enough.
not one of them.
I was
so.
lucky enough to be a season ticket holder for quite some time,
Mhm.
and we were front row in right field for several years at the new stadium, and we had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of losses because we used to go to
Yeah.
as many games as I could. Like even when I was working
Yeah.
in New York, whatever, we would come down and go to the Phillies games, try and hit every game we could possibly hit. Man, that was Phillies were fun back then, man. You had Tomey, that when and everybody when that team came in, it was just a good team. They
Man,
went
I'll
to the
tell you-
World Series. We had the parade. That was
08.
a lot of fun. Yep, that was a lot of fun.
When I was a kid, the Phillies were so bad. They used to give away game tickets if you bought a pack of hot dogs in the grocery store.
They used to.
You bought a pack of Phillies Franks in the
Mhm.
grocery store.
Yep.
It came with a pair of tickets.
Yeah, that the only team that I've seen, I mean, really, that's been that bad since I've been alive has been the Sixers. You can get tickets.
Oh, yeah, dude.
At one point, we were getting $1 tickets to
No
go to the
lie.
Sixers game, and we'd be the only ones there.
No lie,
Screaming.
I bought tickets. I want to say about
Screaming.
5 or 6 years ago. I bought tickets off of StubHub. It was like 3 cents a ticket. And by the time
Really?
by
The
the time
the
their
fees
fees
were
and
more,
all
yeah.
were done, I think I paid $10
Yeah.
for 5 tickets. $2 a
Well,
ticket.
When I was a kid, you used to go to Vet Stadium.
Oh, I
and-
remember.
and
walk in.
It was probably around the 5th inning. They would just
Yeah.
open the gates,
Mhm.
and they would do that not necessarily just so people would come in, but they would get beer sales and concession sales from those. You wouldn't have to
Yeah.
buy a ticket, but at least they'd make some money.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and you remember Vet Stadium was huge. I don't remember how many it held, but
My father used to have
it held a lot more people than would go to a
Vet,
normal baseball game.
I mean, Citizens Bank, I think, is like 48,000, and I think the Vet was close to 60.
Yeah, it was definitely more.
Because it
than
was
Vet.
fully.
My father
fully
had
closed.
season tickets in the 700 level, which was the
Well, that should let
notorious.
you know.
Like,
Yes.
that was insane. The things
Uh-oh.
that I've seen.
The hell was that?
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Oh, I thought that was attention that
Ah.
our guest was here.
Excuse yourself.
Do we have anyone join us?
You know what? Here's Miguel now. He's texting me.
I
now.
don't have anyone who joined in, but if you guys want to pull up a few videos of AC/DC last year,
Yes, just
Back
do
in
me a
Black.
favor
Yes.
before you do that. Turn the volume down on that number 4 up there,
okay.
just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
girl.
because we'll get blasted out.
Yeah, it seems like you're gonna get blasted out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait till Ray's done, then I'll show you one I have from last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing. He just opens it up.
I'm
Yeah.
telling him now. He's actually trying to get on right now.
All right, for some reason I've kicked you guys out when I
That's okay.
open that
They're
up.
prettier than we are.
Absolutely.
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 Absolute vodka, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
That voice.
That's what I said. This guy's sound. It's like you take Brian Vaughn, you put this together. Listen to that voice. As I said, it gets every nuance that is AC/DC. This band just hits it, man.
Mhm.
They hit it like no other. And I tell you, I love this band, man. We will never have another AC/DC band here. We're trying to
Yeah,
get it. We're
oddly
trying to
enough,
get a new
there's not
Aussie band
many.
here because
Speaking of being allergic
I
to
know there's a
bullshit.
comment on there right now.
Desco's like what?
Speaking of comments, do we have any comments, Case? Any good comments?
But
Well, let me
we're
see
trying to
what's
get on right now. All right, hold on. I'm going to go.
Joe Morrison.
Turn it up to 11.
Yeah, turn it up to 11.
Oh,
It was
and,
good seeing you for a double feature, Joe.
and Vinny Mouse.
Buddy
Buddy
was the
was-
original singer for Sick Vicky.
Yeah, Romeo.
Really? I never knew that.
I didn't know that.
No.
Did not know that.
How long ago was that, Vinny? What year was that? See, it's working for me, and I'm already here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fairly easy.
You know what's funny is a lot of these bands, like I don't know the Appetite for Destruction band. I haven't met them yet. but a lot of these
They're tuned in.
Oh, there they are.
yeah, well, he's typing stuff.
1985?
1985?
Wow.
Wow, they've been around since 1985.
See, the problem was they were around that long, and then their album went. By the time they finally released their album, was the same exact time, 1990, 1991, when Nirvana's kicking in.
Yeah, the grunge.
Yeah,
So
the grunge scene took over.
They
Yeah,
were out past their scene. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That's kind of like
many good bands came out in that time period.
we had my brain is just not functioning today. Lips and Rob Ryan.
Anvil.
We
Anvil,
had
yeah,
Anvil
man.
here. Anvil is great, dude. I'll tell you, there's nothing like looking on the camera, your back door, and seeing Lips there going, "It's Anvil." Like, hey,
The
Anvil's
three
here.
Canadians. They were
Dude, great show. But they were another one that they were
Yeah.
that band that had it, and then the other bands came in right after them, Bon Jovi and all that, and Anvil
Yeah.
was you never heard of Anvil, and most of them will tell you they look back at Anvil and they're like, that was an inspiration of ours.
That's your favorite
Metallica
band's favorite
thing.
band. Right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yep.
Your favorite band's is Anvil.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to have them here, man. I'd love to get them back. We've kind of talked. They re-released that the documentary. Did you ever see
Yeah,
the
that documentary is awesome.
What was that called?
I think it was just called Anvil.
No.
It
was
might
that-
have been documentary for Anvil. But I know they remastered it, re-released it,
No, at all.
and I think they were going to do a tour with it, like maybe play before or after or something like that. And I don't know where that never came to fruition or nothing. I have to ask.
Anvil, the story of Anvil.
The
That's what it
story
was.
of
The
Anvil.
story of Anvil. All right, which is great. It's heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
when you meet the guys, you're like, dude, these are some really cool, solid guys, man.
That's awesome.
Really cool, solid guys. Now, I guess, can we not get this gentleman on? So, what I was getting at from that is, wait, let me try to email this to him.
Side note, also here, Back in Black was Joe Morrison's first concert.
Yeah, that was our first
Ever?
concert that we had here. It was actually pre-COVID that we did it, and then
He's
COVID
never gone
shut us
to
down.
He's never gone to another
Oh.
concert.
So I believe they've been here 5 times, correct? Or
Fourth.
is this their 5th?
This will be their 4th.
This will be their 4th?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they came.
No, because they came before. Like they were the very first show we did.
That's what I was thinking too. I think
Yeah.
they might have been on the old ticketing
Yes.
platform.
They were.
Yeah.
That's what it
That
was.
was
So then this will
literally-
be their 5th then.
Yes.
Oh, so this
Yeah.
is their 5th time here. See, I
Yeah.
thought it was a little more than 4 too, but I
Yeah,
didn't wanna-
and then
I
there was
missed
the
that.
big break in between. So I think this is their 5th time back. They're
Yeah. They
Okay,
were-
hold on.
had,
I am emailing
they
the
were here May-
gentleman from Casey is our new producer. So at some point, Casey's gonna do all this stuff. But it's my fault. I did not give her this to even have the link for the show and the email address. Now we
I'm
know.
gonna
So
see if I can do this without
so I texted everything to them, and I guess they're trying to do it on their
Kobe.
Mhm.
It's off camera. Nobody knows. That was a 3-point.
I have an inappropriate comment from Joe Morrison here.
Oh yeah.
bring it
What, you
up.
want to show his
We
ass?
say
No,
inappropriate.
well, sort of.
Yes, the Chocolate Starfish Band, man. They are phenomenal.
I hate everything.
That's going to be the name of our band with
Yeah.
Joe Morrison on drums,
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
playing the butt bongos
Yes.
the whole time. All right. There we go. I have now sent that over.
Oh yeah. it
So
was
John,
during
if you're
COVID.
listening, John, you should have that in your email now. Let's see if it works that way for you. Yeah, I didn't. That's my fault. I texted everything to Miguel,
Hey,
and,
there's Miguel.
and I didn't think, hey Miguel, how you doing, brother? If you need it emailed as well, Miguel, anybody else, I can email it over to you. Just text me over your email real quick, and I'll get it emailed over. Because if you're on your phone, you can use that link. I guess
Yeah,
They gotta get the
if they
link
got the
over to-
laptop.
yeah, you got to get to your laptop. That's my fault. I apologize for that. But John, we're talking good things about you. We can't wait to meet you here in a few minutes. And Miguel, we'd love to have you on as well. If you can come on with Tony and Dan when they come on. And I'm going to email this to him as well. That way we can get these gentlemen on.
No free advertising.
Yeah, I know. We have a new, like I said, we have a new producer, and I'm sitting here, being an idiot. I could have just gave her all this stuff, and she would have done it right.
Speaking of our producer, Casey, would you like to come on while Ray is doing this and fill some air? You
Yeah,
can
I'm
feel
doing
free to
her
mute
job.
us and bring yourself up on the camera.
Give us some
And give us
Casey
a read.
Ray's stuff.
Let's go. Give us a good old read here, Case.
Like, what's going on at Casey Ray's this week? Actually, oh,
All
we
right,
have a Halloween party this weekend.
Oh,
Now, and while you do this, you can mute us. Look,
All right. So yeah, this week at Casey Ray's, tonight we have a open mic going on. That's every Tuesday we do an open mic. It's hosted by Dee Dee Star. There's a full house band, or you can play solo. If they don't know a song, they'll figure out a way to learn it. It's a really cool vibe. It's just a good energy. We usually have a tarot reader there too. Her name is Lauren. She's also one of our bartenders. She's awesome. So it's another reason to come out, see some live music. We have comedians, magicians. We've had someone with a harp. So there's a ton of talents. All talents welcome. The only one that we can't let slide is the fire breathing. They won't let us do that. But besides that, pretty much anything. Wednesdays we are closed. Thursday, though, upstairs we have karaoke. We just moved karaoke to Thursdays with DJ Paul. So, I love DJ Paul. He's been our karaoke DJ since the beginning. He's been with us since before the downstairs was even open. So he's an OG. He has pretty much every song. He's got a good setup. So we love DJ Paul. Friday night we have the music this week. Normally our Fridays are Latin night, but this week will be the music. They do old school R&B and soul. They're super tight band, a ton of fun. They start at 8 p.m. to 12 to midnight. It is a $10 cover. Totally worth it. Totally a fun band. Long night. John, Victor, Tashi, Alvin, all those guys. We love having them out here. And then Saturday night, we have our Fright Night Halloween party, right, with DJ Real Deal. Wear your costumes. There's costume contests. I don't know if you were listening in last week, but we had Benandy on here. Benandy competed in the sexiest costume, and he should have won. I'm hearing from the crowd over here. And he also competed in the sexiest costume and twerking contest. I think he might have won the twerking contest. Yes, no, but yeah.
the Bob's Burgers girl. What the hell's her name?
Oh, Debbie.
No.
It starts with a D.
No. What the hell's her name? Oh my gosh, she does this.
That's why you're the
stupid
producer.
Yeah,
You're supposed to look that up.
stupid little thing. Oh my god,
man,
what
we're
is her name?
throwing a lot on her tonight.
Yeah,
Tina?
Tina.
Tina.
There it is.
Yes, thank
Tina.
you.
I had to say, I'm like Bob.
Totally Tina. That's Saturday
He
night,
does
though.
twerk like Tina. I never thought about
He
that.
does work like Tina. Yeah.
He literally
Yeah.
twerks like Tina.
Maybe
And now
that's
he's
who-
got a broken back, so it's even worse. You can't
Wait,
even do Tina.
He should be that for Halloween next year.
Tina.
Tina.
I
And then
agree.
it'll all make
That
sense.
would be funny as hell.
How about
Andy?
Tina in a banana suit?
Tina.
Oh,
They might
I-
not know.
No, I think that was an episode. Didn't she go as like a shitty costume to something?
Oh, she did.
Yes, but what was it?
I don't remember.
Oh,
It was a real
man.
shitty costume that she had.
I remember her brother was the remember he was the Bigfoot burger guy for a while. Remember that one? I forget what that was called.
My
It was
favorite episode
hilarious.
of that was the crossover where it was him as Archer with like
Oh, I remember that
amnesia,
one. That was such a good
and
one.
he came back as Bob,
That was
but
such
he
a
was
good one.
Bob getting shot at the whole time by all these people. He's
I
like,
love
"Why do you
Archer.
keep talking to me?"
Archer new season.
She
just
was a
came out.
nun at one
Yes,
point.
I love Archer.
She was
They
a nun.
they had a
Um,
couple seasons that
There was one
you
she
know.
was in. It was like they've had a few seasons. Now, but
That-
they're
that
in like
were-
their 10th season.
well they had a few that they had to do some other stuff. I think they were trying to fill some voids. They didn't exactly know how to continue it on.
Yeah,
but I
their
believe
Halloween
he's
episode.
woken
What are
up
you
now.
doing? Looking up Tina's costume?
Yes.
What is
See?
she?
She's a
oh,
tree.
she was a tree.
She's like a cardboard tree.
Casey was a tree.
That could
once.
be Andy.
Oh yeah, I was an evil tree, Evil Dead.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ray made
Evil Dead the
me.
musical.
Oh yes.
She
Evil Dead the
wasn't
musical.
like raping people, was she?
No, no, but
like the
Well,
trees
well,
in Evil
carrying
Dead.
them
I was
away.
trying. I guess I was trying.
She was
I was acting.
facilitating it.
she
What do they
was
call it? When you act?
acting?
Role
took-
play?
No. Method
Meisner, you're a
Method acting.
method acting.
So you felt like you were a tree. That night.
You
Okay.
really were into the evil tree. Huh?
Me and Mike KC.
You and
No,
Mike Casey
Mike
Yes.
fully
Casey.
believed you were
Yes.
trees.
We did.
That's
and,
awesome.
And he leafed already. So
Oh,
get
Oh,
it?
no.
He
he
leafed.
leafed. He made.
Oh,
he
my
made
Lord.
like a
He's living
tree
in
and
Florida
leafed.
now.
it looks like we have John on.
John.
John
Perfect.
is here from Appetite for Destruction.
You made it.
Yes.
All right,
And
let me bring him on.
We got 9 minutes.
We're only a half hour with John. Holy shit! He's got the fucking hat and everything.
Hey guys, how's it
How you
going?
doing,
What's
brother?
What's up, my brother?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you, dude. You're in costume and everything. This is fucking crazy. Or is that your real hair?
Oh, this is my real hair. It's my real wig. It's my real top hat and everything.
Dude, we were just talking about Slash and how, through the years, I mean, to me, Axl's gone straight to shit now. But Slash has just been from band to band to band. He's just been one of the most amazing guitar players, from Michael Jackson to when I saw him with Velvet Revolver at the Spectrum. I mean, this guy's just ridiculous, man.
Mhm.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, that's why I do it. That's why I'm a huge GNR fan since I'm a young teenager, and Slash has always been, my guitar idol, and it just goes to show his body of work. He just doesn't rest on his laurels. He just keeps on going. No matter what band it is, he just keeps on going and puts out music and just loves to play. So that's a great example to follow for sure.
And you know him, when you hear his guitar riffs, it's Slash.
Hey, he's out
Yeah.
doing his solo stuff again.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. He's
Yeah.
out doing
Yeah,
solo
they just
stuff.
announced. They just announced was it a European tour with the Miles
Oh,
Kennedy and the Conspirators? Yeah,
Yes.
they're going out
Oh,
again.
That's
excellent.
the other one I forgot. The Miles Kennedy and
Yep,
Conspirators.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
I'll
keeping
tell
busy.
you,
He's keeping his
I was-
guns.
Yeah.
I was telling the story here earlier. I saw them with Velvet Revolver. I was sitting next to Hackett, who was he used to be the goalie for the Flyers. He literally was sitting right next to me. Had all the fans behind me. We're bullshitting the whole time. He used to have Slash on the side of his helmet, and
Cool.
this kabuki curtain dropped, and the backdrop to the whole show was like this neon thing that said "rock and fucking roll."
Nice.
And we just looked at each other and said, "Dude, we are in for a show, man." And it was a great show. That
Hell
was
yeah.
one of those Spectrum shows,
Hell
It was that weird, the vibe you always got in the Spectrum. But it was just, man, what a show that night, man. That was a good show.
Velvet,
God bless Scott
Velvet
Weiland,
was
man.
a great show. Yeah, R.I.P. Scott Weiland. They were a great band.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Do you guys do anything outside of that? Do you do any of the outside songs at all?
Yeah, we do. We do Slithers in the set every once in a while. We haven't
It's a
done
good one.
Fall to Pieces in a while, but we used to play that every once in a while. But
It's such a great tune, man.
Slither is such a. I mean, it
Yeah.
falls into it's got such a great groove, and it's it's such like a heavy in your face song that it's a little different from your traditional gun stuff, but it's really in your face, and it's a great song for the crowd for sure.
Again, it's Slash that makes that song what it is. Like we were talking about the Michael Jackson Black and White song.
Yeah.
You know what? it's
Well,
like-
there's a full
there's-
guitar solo in that.
Oh
that
yeah,
is
but it's like, and I don't know if you remember. There's somewhere there was you might remember, John. There was a documentary they were talking about Slash with that, and it was Michael Jackson was like, look, if he just wants to do it, let him do it or whatever. And he was like, well, what do you want me to do? And he said, just do you. And Slash, that was just off the cuff.
Yeah.
He just said, all right, I'm going to do this, and he made the album. Yeah.
Not to reveal too much of my Slash dorkery, but yeah. So when you listen to that like not the radio track, but like the album track, there's like a part at the beginning where there's like a parent banging on a kid's door.
Yes.
That's playing the music.
And he's
And
playing the riff.
that's the part that Slash is doing at the beginning. I don't know
that solo.
if he
Yeah.
laid down the thing you just mentioned, that riff that kind of goes over and over throughout the whole song. But the thing at the beginning is totally Slash. And then the big thing about Black or White is live. I think they did it at the MTV Awards and stuff where Slash is just soloing. And the whole bit was that, they're trying to pull him off the stage, but he's like pushing away the security guards and he just like keeps on soloing. It was such a cool thing to see.
You know what? I remember that. I totally remember that. Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
man.
yeah.
MTV Awards were the shit back in the day.
Oh my
and
God,
when
yeah,
MTV
yeah.
was MTV,
Uh-huh.
it
When
was like
the music was still on the
oh,
television.
man.
Yeah.
Our
It's so
singer,
funny.
Axl Robb, he talks all the time about Welcome to the Jungle from the MTV Music Awards. That's like his pinnacle of the version of that song. If we can get close to that version of it one day, I think he'll be happy.
When I was telling these guys earlier before you came on, first time I saw Guns N' Roses, nobody knew who they were. They were opening for Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls tour.
Oh, wow.
I saw them in Atlanta at the Omni. And it was, I'm going to say it was 3 songs. I remember 3 songs, and somebody threw a bottle on stage, and it hit Axl. He jumped off. He got in this big fight, and it's Atlanta. And, dude, they just walked him off. That was the end of it. And there was like a bunch of instrumental, and the band kind of looked at each other and like, well, what do we do now? And they're like, I guess you get the hell off the stage. and then it became it was not nice. The audience was pissed because now you have to wait. Because Guns N' Roses was supposed to play for like another 45 minutes, man. And now you got that 45 minutes plus the changeover. Because even though now everything's changed over, you had to sit there and stare at the Motley Crue set because they still had 30 minutes to come on.
Yeah.
It was like they should have just put him back on stage and let him play. But
That was a dicey time, right? During that era, the 80s and 90s, early 90s for sure.
But he was and that was another. And Slash to me was what stood out at that show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got this crazy looking guitar player, and he's just destroying that guitar. And you're like, 6 months later, you couldn't turn on the radio without hearing a Guns N' Roses song.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it was like Motley Who.
Oh yeah, right.
Motley Who. But that was a good tour, man. Motley Crue tour was that Girls tour was a good tour.
You know, my wife posed a question to me before, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. She said to me, did Guns N' Roses open the door for what came later with the alternative movement and the grunge movement? Because GNR was not like your typical 80s hair band. They weren't that fluff. They weren't that. They were pissed at the scene. They were doing rock and roll, but they were doing it in a dangerous way. Were they the gateway to what came later?
I could see that. What do you think, John?
It's possible. I put Alice in Chains more in that seat where Guns, they weren't doing the typical hair metal thing by any means. They were doing something that was more, I mean, in my opinion, as a young GNR fan, more meaningful. There was more feeling in the vocals and the lyrics, and it was
authentic.
It was more of that, but yeah, it was certainly when the Nirvanas and the Pearl Jams came on, on the scene. It was definitely a turn, and it did change. It changed not just the environment, but it changed. A lot of Guns fans that were fans then kind of turned their backs a little bit, and that's really how the band formed. I mean, GNR kind of went away after the Illusions tour up until early 2000s. So in 97, I'm dating myself, 26 years ago. That's when we decided to start doing this because we didn't think there was enough GNR out there.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Like I was saying to these guys, this is our first time seeing you. Miguel and those boys have played. This is their 5th time playing here. They are our AC/DC tribute. We don't bring anybody else in. That's it. And we don't even call them a tribute anymore. We call it an experience here with them. They are
the real thing for sure.
They
are. We played with them last year at Rockfest, and Miguel and the boys they bring it, and we're happy to start the show for them. We're looking forward to a great night.
No, I can't wait to see you guys, man. I hope you're everything I want you to be. You look like it already, man. I cannot wait, man.
Man, not to get on a tribute band soapbox, but there's a lot of tribute bands out there that they get in the think tank. They say, hey, what tribute band would do really well? What's that kind of thing? We were more like, we're Guns N' Roses fans. We want to play this music because we love it. We want people to hear it. We want to do justice to it. We want it to sound like how people grew up listening to it, and that's why we're doing it.
But that's what makes you an experience.
That's exactly right.
That's what makes you not the. We had the Poison guys come in. What was the name? Poisoned or something.
Poisoned. Yep.
They came in and they were with that Motley Crue band. And let me tell you, this guy's from New York. This guy, the lead singer, I can't remember his name. But man, he comes up and he lived Poison, like the way you guys live Guns N' Roses. And when they hit the stage, he was Bret Michaels, man. You're like, dude, these guys are good, man. And it's because he like you, John. This was their music. This is what they grew up with, and that they didn't just say like you said, hey, let's do an Ozzy tribute this week or whatever. Who's popular right now. Yeah. But
you guys can relate. There's something about that music that hits at that certain age, whether it's like turning into a teenager, 13, 14 years old, and it's like, for me with GNR, it was like that dangerous, like what is this sound? You didn't hear it anywhere else, and you saw Welcome to the Jungle, you saw Paradise City, you're like, holy shit, what is this? This is just amazing. Yeah. And from that point, it's just like it's in your blood,
Yeah, that first album was ridiculous. The last tour I saw was the Use Your Illusion tour. That's the last time I saw them. But that first album was
Appetite
one of those. It's one of those albums that you
perfection.
And you're never good. They're never good. They did a lot of great songs after that, but never an album like that.
Appetite was perfection from song 1 to Rocket Queen, man.
I'm with you, man. I totally agree. And it's we've when we had the 20th anniversary, we played the album from start to finish, a couple of times, and it's an honor. It's just the songs I grew up listening to. I know it, front to back, and even still listening to it today, you hear these things you may not have heard. You hear like the claps and Think About You,
Yeah.
and you hear like things that you never really experienced before. But it's such a great and deep album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And a lot of bands, it's usually that third, fourth album that they like for me, AC/DC always had great albums. But when you got to Back in Black, it became that album where every single song on that album was a hit.
Hell yeah.
Every album before that had a hit,
Yeah,
but
right,
Guns N' Roses, that first album was like, dude, I mean, that album, and my other favorite Guns N' Roses album, what was the one with it was like an EP. Remember, it was like
Lies.
Lies.
Like a Suicide. Yeah, sure.
I love that album, man. I used
Yeah.
to play that like there was no tomorrow. Every song on it was a great song, man.
Hell yeah.
It was just a fun. There was only wasn't there only like 6 songs on that album or something? Was it?
There was
many?
8. Yeah, there was the
8,
4.
yeah.
There was the 4
Yeah.
folk live songs that were on it, and then there were the
That's
4
right.
acoustic
Yep.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you cannot buy a copy with 1 in a million on it now.
Really?
They've
Really?
taken 1 in a million off any
They have.
future
Yeah.
Why?
releases.
Why? What's the reason behind that?
There's they bomb the N-word. They put the gay slangs in there, and like it's just crazy. I mean, it was all right when it came out.
So now we're just erasing history.
Now
again.
we're
No,
erasing
okay.
history again. So.
That's
But you
one
can
of those
still
things
bury
where
her in your
you don't
backyard,
play-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can still bury a broad in your backyard, right?
that's fine.
All right, cool.
That's fine.
Oh, that's still good. All right,
Yeah.
Casey. Just so you know. Just so you know.
Do you want to write your own
Our,
notes and
our producer wasn't listening.
click your own buttons?
Anything you could give us on the band,
No,
though, real
please,
quick?
I like not
Anything we
clicking.
don't know about the band, or maybe that would help, maybe get people in to see the
Yeah,
band,
I
sell
mean,
some tickets.
As we said, huge GNR fans. Been doing it for over 25 years. We're in the New York, New Jersey area all this time. We've done Starland. We've done BB King's in the city. You guys remember that venue?
sweet.
Oh
Sweet.
yeah,
That was
I've been there
That's-
many a times.
That was one of our highlights. And yeah, we've just we've been doing this a long time where we take pride in it. We really want to get it right. We want to give people the experience that we had. We went to see Guns N' Roses, and we we have the energy, we have the music, everything that you want to see in a Guns N' Roses show. We're going to bring to you on Friday.
Now,
yeah.
you guys pattern your set list off of like their old set list or what they're doing now, or kind of a hodgepodge of things.
So we do. Yeah. So we follow what songs they're doing in their set list. I mean, you see their set list that they're doing now. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing 3+ hours of material,
Yeah.
and they're pulling covers out that they never did during the Illusions tour. I would say that we lean pretty heavily, only because this is, when I was in my teens, that's what we were leaning on, the Illusion tour. There's a lot of nods to that tour because it's just what we kind of grew up with. But yeah, we do a lot of stuff that they do now. The Velvet Revolver thing that we mentioned before, and we throw in little pieces of stuff that they do currently, just to just to give that nod that we're still a big supporter of the band.
Yeah.
Any Chinese Democracy stuff?
We've played Chinese Democracy, and I mixed results. There's a video of us doing Chinese Democracy at Starland that we are very happy with how it came out, but it doesn't hit as you would think as much as the other stuff does. When you're going to see a Guns show, I don't know how many people are screaming for Chinese Democracy. There are a few.
Yeah,
This
you're
guy.
right. You're right.
This
No,
is the only
I'm
guy.
not. See, the only reason I ask is because I was not a fan, as most GNR fans weren't, with Chinese Democracy. I love the song better. I
Yeah, that
I
was a good
was
song.
not a
That's a good
fan
tune.
of that until I saw them do it live.
Well,
And
I
to
really
see
feel,
Slash play stuff off of that album
Exactly.
is like
That's-
mind blowing.
as a Slash fan, as an original Guns fan, as a Slash fan, to see Slash putting his take on some of those songs really just reinvigorated that,
Yes.
those songs for me, where to hear Slash playing, on like This I Love or things like that were like, songs that you really, when you first heard it in the mid 2000s, like, man, what would have Slash done with this solo? And now when you
Yes.
see them live, you get to hear
Yeah.
that, which is just
Yep.
a thrill.
Yeah, I agree. We had who do we have coming? What's the keyboard player? Dizzy Reed.
Dizzy
Yeah.
Reed,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, we may still have them back. We had Hookers and Blow were to play, and something fell apart with it. And I think I was talking to Alex. I think we're going to bring definitely Quiet Riot back.
They're a
Maybe
great
hope-
bunch of guys.
hope-
We opened for them right when the whole Coachella thing was happening, where the partial reunion was starting to break.
Mhm.
Dizzy, we opened for Dizzy on Long Island, and he was nice enough to come out. He did Civil War with us, which was just a
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
shit.
and that's
so
his
cool.
song,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
That's
yeah,
killer.
when
I
I
have to
wasn't
say
sure,
that's
you know,
probably
when these
my
things
favorite.
happen, you're not sure it's going to happen. You know, he's hanging out. He doesn't need to play with the tribute band, but he
yeah.
comes out and he knows her fans. I see the keyboard getting set up. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually going to happen.
He's actually
Yeah.
gonna play.
Yeah.
Do you have video
And
of
then he
that?
comes out and we play Civil War, and it was.
Oh,
a
I would
thrill.
love
It
to
was
see
awesome.
that. I bet that would be really good. I'd love to see that. Do you have any video of that you put out
We
anywhere?
do, yeah. I mean, I think there was some, because of the timing. There was some stuff about, hey, don't put this up right now. But I think enough
Mhm.
time's passed for it to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
hell yeah.
cool, man. See,
That'd
I
be
would
cool.
love that. See, that's exciting, especially for a band. We had an Aerosmith tribute play here, and one of the original members that most people don't even know he exists was Ray Tabano.
Mhm.
Was one of the original
Hell yeah.
members, and he played with the Aerosmith tribute that was here, and it was great seeing this old school rocker just killing
He
it,
was
man.
so not only was he one of the, I mean, he founding member of
Yeah,
Aerosmith.
yeah.
He is Steven Tyler's childhood best friend.
Yeah, they were like best friends.
They were
man.
at, that's why they quit the band, was so that the two of them could remain friends, because
Wow.
they started to hate each other a little bit, and they decided, you know what, we can take this out and just
Yeah, but
we'll remain friends.
it means a lot to be a tribute act
Yeah.
for a band and have one of those original band members actually think,
Yeah.
hey man, I'm gonna join these guys. These guys are good enough
Oh yeah.
that I'm gonna
Well,
join.
Yeah.
we mentioned Eric Kamin earlier, the vocalist for Steven Adler right now.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he was found. Steve Adler walked in on his band playing. He was in a GNR tribute band.
Oh really? I didn't know
Steven
that.
Adler walked in
Yeah.
and saw the guy singing, and that's how he joined them.
No shit.
Yeah, he does a great job. Eric. He's great.
Ari's awesome, man.
Wow. We have
Yeah.
Greg Hawkes from the Cars. He was here, and he's with a band called Eddie Japan.
Yes.
And now it's all about a guy. You remember the original Cars albums?
Oh,
Right.
sure.
Greg Hawkes, that Moog synthesizer that he used on the album in the studio recording was on our stage.
That's
And
killer.
and the same thing, bro. It was the greatest thing because they finished the song like, "Don't you stop, don't you stop," and then you got to wait because he's got to readjust all the knobs
Every single one.
for the next song.
Yeah.
And then he'll look at the guy and go,
Yeah.
"I'm ready," and then
And he had it
Yeah,
all
that's
down
right.
by memory. I mean, he literally he memorized every knob and
That's
draw
killer.
bar
Yeah.
that he had to pull
Digital
on
what?
that.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it was all. It was so
Yeah.
cool to have him here.
I
think
thought he would have
we-
had a little sheet.
We're
you know, or
talking about
something like
bringing him
that.
back. I think.
I
we're
would
talking-
love to. They
I
were
think we're
they
talking
were
about bringing. He was
fantastic.
what a guy. But to me, it just shows that I guess again, you haven't played here. You don't know us. We have a very award-winning crew here from sound, lights, video, the whole 9 yards. We took this old 1937 theater and turned it into a music venue
Mhm.
for people like you. And for me to if you're a band that somebody like Dizzy said, "Hey man, I want to play with this band," that's what we want here.
Hell yeah.
You want the best of
Absolutely.
the best of.
No, man,
of
we've
the
been
tributes.
excited about this gig for a long time. We're thankful for the opportunity, and we can't wait to bring our GNR show to you guys. We're gonna put everything out there for sure.
No,
Hell
we
yes.
can't wait either. And we thank Miguel for putting this together as well. We love Miguel. They're all family here.
Mhm.
Like I said, this is their 5th time here. We're all friends. We love them to death, and we hope it. This ends up the same way with you guys because we don't have a Guns N' Roses. We've never.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
We've never had a GNR tribute here. Like I said, we had Dizzy on his way with Alex and those guys with Hookers and Blow, but and again that didn't come to fruition. I think like I said, we're still talking. I think they're coming around this way again, so we're going to do something. But I think it's great, man. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, hey, we look forward to a long and fruitful relationship, gentlemen. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely, John.
Absolutely.
Well, we will see you this week, Friday night, brother.
Yes.
Thanks, man. Thanks very
All
much
right,
for the
thanks, guys.
opportunity.
Tell the
Have a
guys we
great
look
one.
forward to seeing them too, man.
Yes.
We'll do. Take care.
See you,
Take care,
brother.
brother.
Bye bye.
Did we get Tony or
Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful.
Look at that.
look at that?
She's
That's
been
our
whipping something up, huh?
sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by.
Absolute vodka.
I need a chiropractor. When I tell you my neck, I look like a crack addict here tonight. I apologize, guys. I do have a little PTSD, not gonna lie, but my nose is stuffed up like there's no tomorrow. And I sleep on a greyhound, literally a living dog every night. And somehow they end up under my head. They curl around Casey. I'm like trying to just find a way to sleep with this dog. And I wake up, my neck's like this, and I just need a chiropractor.
Oh
It's
man.
got to be a good. If there's one listening anywhere in this Vineland area,
Or Chinese
oh my god,
acupuncture.
acupuncture. Yes,
Yeah, we were just talking about
we were
that.
talking about that earlier, and a friend of mine had told me that I have Lyme disease. I was making a movie years ago, and it's the weirdest thing because when I tell you I don't know if you know, you can hit like a bag of ticks,
No,
in the forest, like this thing, and they all fall.
Really?
And, oh,
Yep.
dude, it was like a bag of ticks, man, not
Yeah.
dicks, ticks.
Yes.
But that we got covered, and we were actually on a location scout, covered in ticks. I was in Florida like a couple weeks later for a film thing, and I had this little like thing in my armpit, and like the circle they say
Yeah.
you get now. I didn't know anything about it at the time. I thought I got sunburned because I was playing a character in a film at the time. I was from that back in that era. And I couldn't have a tan. They didn't want me burnt. So I was we're on the beach and I'm under an umbrella. And everybody's making fun of me. And they thought the sun came through and gave me sunburn. Come to find out, it was a freaking tick. And I ended up with Lyme
Jesus.
disease. And they were saying that acupuncture helps with Lyme disease. A friend of mine was saying to try it out. So I definitely, I'm game to try it
Hell
because
yeah.
you get that, your hands, again, your neck, and you sleep on a Greyhound.
Got
it
out
doesn't
of the
help.
service and had to worry about that shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, all the shit I went through in the military, and a tick is the one that
That's
it
wild.
lives with me every day
Right,
of my life.
right.
Yeah, it's crazy. If anybody out there suffers from Lyme disease, or you know somebody, man, I'm telling you, it is not fun. It's a horrible thing, and mine was not caught because the doctor I went to, actually, I'll tell you real quick, he said it looked like a reaction to my underarm deodorant.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, I've been using the same underarm deodorant for years.
Mhm.
So he just poo-pooed it. It's underarm deodorant. Until one day I got out of the shower, I looked in the mirror, and literally the circle was like, or you could see this like
Jesus.
on my chest. And then I said, oh, I guess it's something else. I went back, and then they tried to treat me, and it was a little bit too late.
I think Casey might have something to say.
Do we have somebody on?
No. I just had
Oh,
a really cool
oh.
clip of Ray Tabano. You guys were talking about
Oh,
him. So I
yes.
pulled
Can
one
we see
up.
Ray
Oh yeah,
Tabano?
just make
Yeah.
sure you turn that number
Yep.
4 down. Still does the damn thing.
And do you remember that night? I remember two things. One, I have a picture of him somewhere, and it's on my Instagram with the
Walking
same
the
Walking the dog.
the same
Yeah.
dog it's the same dog I slept on.
Mhm.
Walking the dog, one of the dogs I sleep on. But he
Mhm.
also, for some odd reason, picked everybody up and took pictures with him. Do you remember that? Including, remember Ryan,
Yes.
the gentleman that used to
Yeah.
work here? There's a picture of him holding Ryan,
Yes.
one of our stage techs. I mean, he
Yes.
was just picking up all the girls and like holding them, like
Yeah.
everyone. It's like he liked picking people up and taking photographs.
Yeah,
It's very
awesome.
odd. Nicest guy ever. Walked our dog for real. So it was really
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, Ray
Yeah, he is
Tabano,
great.
baby. Ray Tabano.
Man.
It's great.
Thoughts go out to Steven Tyler fracturing his larynx.
I saw that.
Fractured
yeah.
his larynx. I mean, you got to figure it's 75 for
How
as
do you
much-
fracture your
Yeah, but
larynx?
how the hell do you do that?
He,
man?
he first came out after I think it was 2 or 3 shows. So I saw him in Philly Saturday night, and then they did 2 more shows. And at that 3rd show, he thought he did just normal vocal damage. He thought he was going to be out for like a month. And then it came back out within that month's time that he had fractured his larynx singing. I mean, at 75 years old, think about the pitches and stuff that Steven Tyler tries to
fracturing
hit,
your
but
larynx. It's
good
like
God.
breaking your dick.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like,
How do you do
how do
that?
you break your dick?
Yeah, you can. You can. I guess.
I mean, I've heard you can.
Yeah, that
Thank
makes
God
sense.
that's never happened to me on top of everything else. But
I saw today on Instagram
No.
a hoodie sweater for your dick. Like
What?
a hoodie. Like picture me in a hoodie right now, like your dick in like a hoodie.
like a knob hoodie.
Yes, like it went right
You know, I
over.
feel like I've seen that.
Like I feel like I should show up. Like I want to
Yeah,
show
no,
a picture,
no,
for
no,
example,
no.
but I also shouldn't do that. Like they use carrots and bananas
Yeah.
and stuff, but
You
it
got to
was pretty
keep it warm, I
cute.
guess.
Yeah. I know. I saw something like that. I
Comfy
think it
for
was like
Christmas.
It's supposed to be like a sleeping bag for it.
I forget
A
what it was
sleeping
called.
bag.
Something like that. Or like a
Well,
Snuggie.
we were watching. What's that new show we were watching where they compare
Snake oil.
snake oil?
That's what
Have
it
you
made me
seen-
think
yeah.
of.
There's this.
What's funny is I played the board game before they made
Oh, that was a board game.
It was a board game.
Well,
and
now it's a boring show. So it's
I
great.
haven't
It worked
seen the
well.
show. I haven't seen the show. The board game is actually fun, but I have
after
David Spade, right?
yes, after a couple episodes, you're like, all right, I've had enough of it. But one of the first ones was the knob hoodie for your shifter knob.
Mhm.
Literally with a knob
Yep.
hoodie, but that was real.
Yep.
That was real. But it's a fun show. But I'll tell you, after like it's one of those things. It's like, I was in the Writers Guild for a very long time. As a matter of fact, he was just talking about BB King's in New York. That's where we had the Writers Guild Awards every year. So I was but when the writers went on strike, they just started making, content as best they could, which had to be stuff like, quiz shows, things that, weren't written,
Right.
reality shit like that. And that's where now all of a sudden, because you're starting to see these shows popping out, and it's one of those shows like, yeah, okay, I get it, but it was kind of fun.
Right.
It's just too many products at one time, and some of them you actually know. You're like, oh, I saw that on Instagram or I saw that on Facebook. And so the product exists, like the knob, the shifter knob, and apparently the penis hoodie. If we see that
The
on there,
penis.
we know that exists now too, because that's real. That's real. Steve has
Absolutely.
the game up, baby.
I do. I figured it's in between all.
Hold on. This is Miguel Casey.
Does he need the email?
Apparently Dan does. All right. If you have anything, while I do the work over here, there's no email there.
I mean, they could still join from their phone. Are they traveling?
Yeah. Yeah, Miguel, if you're listening, you can join from your phone. I know you were watching, and Dan as well, if you just click that link on your phone as well. Let me see if I can get a hold of Dan. Hold on. Last thing said, Happy Thanksgiving was the last thing that came up.
Wow.
Here we go.
A year later.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard to believe it's going to be November next week.
Dude, we got some good stuff coming up, man.
yes. Well, actually, if you CT.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking of November, if you would like to speak about.
Oh
your-
yes, you got
November
your thing.
12th. So for anybody that doesn't know me outside the Landis podcast, I run a thing called Rock and Roll Union, which is a podcast I do on Wednesday nights. And we've been doing a lead-in each week for the big benefit show coming up, which is our Stop the Heroin benefit, which we're having right here at the Landis Theater. I'm very appreciative and very thankful that we're having it here. This will be our fourth one. We haven't had one since before COVID. So we took a couple years off, and this is the biggest one that we've ever done. We have some amazing bands coming up. Some of the, we have Psychedelic Elders. Sorry, my mind skipped a beat. Psychedelic Elders. We have Black Rose Rebellion, who took part in
They're great, man. Bree.
Hell yeah.
Love Bree.
Psychedelic Elders, they've played upstairs, I think, for one of the open mics.
I think they
They were
have.
a featured band.
Yeah, we've had them here before. Yes.
And then we have a Tom Petty tribute called Pure Petty and a Prince tribute called Controversy, Johnny Long's Controversy. And really excited for all that. The focus was given out to the tributes that were taking part of this. Both Tom Petty and Prince both died of opioid problems. It was just a heartache the way that both of those gentlemen passed away. I mean, Tom Petty, if you know his story at all, it's really heartbreaking. He broke his hip and continued to tour with a broken hip. You got to think at that age, touring with a broken hip. And in order to escape the pain, he was taking painkillers, opioid painkillers, probably Oxycontin, things of the sort. And he just overdosed on the pain medication just because he couldn't take it any longer. He's doing 2-hour shows with a broken hip every night.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's insane. And some unclear things about what happened to Prince. But really looking forward to it. The organization's called Stop the Heroin. They are a local mom and dad that started a charity called Stop the Heroin because their son died of a heroin overdose. My two older brothers, the whole reason I started Rock for Recovery was because my two older brothers died in 2016 and 2017 of heroin overdoses. So unfortunately, everybody has somewhere along the line that they've faced this. They know
Singer
problem.
of my very first band.
And like that's it, especially in the music circles.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have it here. We're glad to have the benefit the bands. Hopefully, we get a lot of people come out for it and help the charity out and everything, and we can make some good of this.
I'm excited for it, man. We're gonna do 50-50s. We got raffle baskets coming out. There'll be an organization here handing out Narcan kits so you can help save a life, and things along that line.
That
So,
sounds awesome.
good stuff.
And hopefully, it can be an annual thing.
I'm hoping.
I would love that. We
So-
would absolutely love that.
For sure.
I do believe Dan says he is on.
Yes,
You have him over there?
Dangus has arrived.
Dang it!
Yes!
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
What's up, my brother?
Not
Long
much,
time
man.
no
How are
see,
you?
man. I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Good, man. Real good.
I think we're supposed to have Tony. There you are. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man. That is Dan in his finest. They call him Dangus in the band. He
Yes,
is their
sir.
Angus Young. This is your 5th time playing here. Did you realize that?
I didn't know the exact number, but I knew it was starting to get up there, man, and that is so awesome.
Man. You know,
we are
you and I hit it off day one. We became friends, and which is great, man. I love you to death, man. We were
You too,
talking
man.
about your real quick, man. Give everybody your pre-show ritual that you do that makes you become Angus Young the way you
Yeah.
do. Give it to us.
So, the thing to start off, I think the thing that makes me become Angus more than anything is stepping out on stage in front of an audience. But to prepare for the onslaught of physical activity that comes my way when I step on stage, this all starts 20 minutes before showtime. I'll do my stretches. And when I say do my stretches, I mean mostly my legs. I'll stretch out my quads, my thigh muscles. I do like 4 different stretches. I'll stretch like the front of my thighs, the backs of my thighs, my calf muscles, and then I'll do like ankle rotations. That will help to prevent cramps. Basically, what I've done in the past is I've paid attention to when I do get cramps, what muscles is it that are cramping, and then I add those stretches that
that's
prevent
smart.
the cramps that I actually get to
Yeah.
my
Oh,
stretch
yeah.
routine. And I've ended up with 4 primary stretches that I do. So I do those, and then I eat peanut M&Ms and drink green tea, which is exactly
Sugar.
what Angus does. He
Sugar
also,
and sugar.
yeah, sugar and caffeine. That's
And
that
man, it
definitely
comes
helps.
out. And you and I will tell you, he sits like in the center of the seating area, and he just stares for a little while, and you're like, he's getting ready, man.
Gets in that
He's
mindset.
getting ready. Now, I will tell you, I can probably say this and not be wrong. I don't think the real Angus Young stretches anything, but except maybe his arm for a bottle of Jack or something. You know, at his age, it's probably just Ben Gay and
Well,
acupuncture.
what killed me was I hadn't seen a picture of Angus for a while. And then they just put out a new one recently, and he looks like
Right.
Doc Brown now.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
got
He
old
looked-
quick,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
Yeah, he got old real fast.
His hair got white like
Yeah.
real quick.
But he's still doing it, man.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
still,
it's insane.
Yeah.
He's still
Yeah.
performing at that level, and you're like, what? How is his
I
head
know.
not just falling off at this
Mhm.
point? Like, how is that, man? Do you like right now? Like I was just saying before you came on, and my neck is killing me. I slept on my dog. I sleep on a dog every night, and besides that, and having Lyme disease, it's like I had this horrible neck pain. How? Dude,
Yeah.
all you do is for hours just Angus Young it as I
Yeah.
call it. How do
Yeah.
you have any neck issues? Do you stretch your neck?
I actually don't. It's funny you bring that up in that I've never really thought about it before. I've never thought about neck stretches, but I mean, it does make sense, but it's not something I've ever done. My first shows with the band, or if we go a little while between shows, like my neck will be horribly sore. But after a couple shows of that, I don't know, something happens in there. My muscles, they just get used to it or something.
Can you imagine back in the day when AC/DC was, they were playing like maybe 5-6 shows a week? You know what I mean? They were
Oh,
playing
yeah.
all over. It was nonstop. Like I remember when I saw them in Philly, Back in Black. Again, it was a Back in Black tour. It was probably I'm gonna say 81, maybe 80, somewhere in there. It was like a 3-night thing. We went all 3 nights, and it was like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they like went some, and then like they were playing New York like a day later. I mean, and this guy and Angus is, you just sit there going, how does he do it, man? I just thought it was a lot of cocaine and I don't know what the hell else he was on back then.
Peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms and cocaine,
Man.
But he was he's one of a kind. And I will tell you, Dan, man, I again have seen AC/DC so many times.
Yeah.
When I see you on stage, I truly believe I'm watching Angus Young. From the mannerisms to just your look. You even look, you have the same body, the same everything. Like, you remember how Angus had a skinny like look, but still like in a muscular way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has the same build. It's really weird. And then when he starts doing the twirls and seat walking and all that stuff, it's like it's so much fun, man. It's so much fun.
Now, what I want to know is, do they give you the mic for TNT? You do the whole
I do the
intro? That's awesome.
At the beginning of TNT. Yeah.
Do we have any live footage of Dan?
Yes, we do.
Oh, Dan, we're gonna play a live clip of you, man.
All right,
Hopefully,
let's
it's
do
the
it.
Star Spangled Banner. That's one of my favorites.
Nice.
I have that on here. It's not the clip I have.
They always they do the AC/DC stuff. Oh, here we go. Dude, tell me that does not look like you were watching Angus Young. Here's your right there, bro. Even the look up, the whole thing, man. Look at the hand, the way you hold the guitar, everything. You even hold low. Everything you do is so. And I've seen some of these other AC/DC. Now, we've never had another AC/DC tribute here. I refuse. Since I met these guys.
And they were the first show you ever had, the first band you've ever had.
Was it our first show?
That's what you guys were saying
That
earlier.
we actually did like ourselves, yes.
Yeah, I believe it was. And that screen, that screen that's behind you, that has now been repurposed into the upper areas of the stage, and we have a whole new 4K screen. We have the walls, the walls light up on fire now. I mean, this place is now built for your show and your show alone, man.
Dude, that sounds so awesome.
I know Tony was going to come on, and Tony, you heard that in the clip. Dude, Tony is the epitome of if anything were to happen and AC/DC said, we want to keep going, we need another singer, Tony's the guy. I mean,
he sounds phenomenal.
Yes, it's ridiculous. This band is so good. And then you got our buddy Steve. Speaking of Steve, how's Steve doing for you guys, huh?
Steve is great, man. He is rock solid behind the drum set.
Isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't thank you enough for that suggestion, man. I mean, Ray is humbling us by putting us up like this. But man, you had a part of building the current lineup of the band.
Yeah, and I'm proud of it because Steve, because I love you guys. I just love Miguel and everybody. I love you guys, man. And when he said he needed a drummer, we had done the Green Day show. And I'm like, if there's anybody that can do AC/DC justice, it's this guy. Yeah. And we love Steve. He became kind of part of our family, He might have slept on my dog one time. I think he did. I think he may have. He
definitely slept in my office.
Yeah, he slept over a few times. We love him. He's literally part of our family here. And now to have him as part of your family, which is also part of our family, it's like a full circle thing for us, man. And we get excited now when you come back.
It is, man.
Because I get to see you. I love you to death, man. We hit it off since day one. But little Steve comes back,
sir.
Miguel's back, everyone's back, and it's just like here's the party. We have, what we have. Miguel gave us a when you guys played that one show the first time. Remember they did it was a drum head, and it said something like the Back in Black.
Open up the USA.
Open up the USA tour because remember it was still during COVID.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think we could only have so many seats sold or something like that. And it was he called it your Open Up the USA tour.
Yeah.
I think was that your first show back from COVID? Do you remember?
That was still, I want to say that was still during COVID because there were still restrictions on us. It was like 2/3 of the seats couldn't be occupied or something like that. So I'm not sure exactly when it was as far as, what year, but it was definitely in the COVID mix somewhere.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was your first show back from like during the whole COVID thing or not, because that's where I feel like we keep thinking it's our first show. Because
it was definitely one of the first.
Pre-COVID. Yeah. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
You guys played pre-COVID here, I guess. See, I forget, man. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast. So I mean, to remember back that far, forget it. It ain't gonna happen, man. Tell me you do. All right, how you got to tell me though. You guys
Yeah.
travel too. You're not just like one
Yeah.
of these, local bands that plays, the circuit here. You guys literally travel.
Right.
You're one of those. Again, we call you an experience, not a tribute. What's it like being on the road with especially with Miguel, Tony, and little Steve and everything? I mean, what's it like being with these guys, especially Miguel?
Yeah, I mean, we just
I love him.
we just have a ball no matter where we are. I mean, we were just out in California and Oregon in August, and out there, I was just thinking the other
Miguel.
day, like we were 3,000 miles away from home, but it just felt like home. I was there with all my friends, and we just had a great time together. And no matter where you are, you're here.
Yeah,
and I don't know, just it's funny. No matter how far away you are from home, you still feel at home.
Because
having
I
your
guess
friends
it's
right
because of what you're doing. I mean, when you're that
Yeah.
tightly knit and you're that good, and for a band like you to keep that original feel, that original groove of AC/DC alive, and being able to give it to people throughout the United States and stuff. To me, we have a Metallica tribute that just played. They're another one. They're fantastic. Four Horsemen. They travel
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
If you get lucky enough, if you're a venue owner or anyone out there and you get lucky enough to have a band like Back in Black, what I mean, or even Four Horsemen, one of these like touring tributes. I still hate that name. I love the experience because I
Yeah.
don't feel like you're
Yeah.
a tribute to them. I feel like you're truly
that's an L.
experiencing them again. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. I love the
That's an
fact that I
attitude.
feel like I'm watching AC/DC again. Like again, for me, back in the 80s, AC/DC. Not, like whatever AC. I can't remember last time I saw AC/DC. It was in Philly, and it's been a few years. When's the last time they toured? Do you remember the last time?
Last time they were here, Axl Rose sang for them.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
talking
it was
before
in
that.
2016.
Yeah.
September of 2016 is the last time they played in Philadelphia because I was there.
When was it before that though? When Brian was
Oh.
still there?
Last time before 16,
I would
I'm
think
not
like
100% sure. Maybe
2008, somewhere in that area.
Probably.
yeah, because that's when Black Ice came out.
That's what
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. That's what the last time
Yeah,
I've seen him.
because Black Ice was
Yep.
2008.
Yeah, so that was the last time I've seen him.
There's
Yep.
rumor right now that they may be embarking on a tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's
I heard that
singing?
too.
Brian Johnson's back in
Watch
the
your feet
fold.
down there,
Didn't
buddy.
he get an ear surgery or
Yeah.
something? And
Yep.
I wonder if
Something like
that was successful. I guess, huh?
They just got done playing
Are you talking Brian Johnson?
Uproar
Yeah.
Festival,
he
I
did.
think
They-
it was called.
They said he should never
Power
play
Up.
Power
show
Up.
again.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
They said
Power
if you
Up
ever
tour.
play a show again, you're gonna
Or-
lose your hearing.
Yeah, and but he's saying that they might tour again. So
They
I know-
just played live at Power Up. It was them, Iron Maiden. Ozzy was supposed to be there, but had to pull out.
bless his heart, man. He's
Trying to remember who else was there. It was
And
a
Brian
lot
Johnson
of big
sang
names.
for them.
Yeah.
So he must
really.
have-
Yep.
Well,
surgery must have.
Well,
gone
I know it was supposed to be some like new surgery too that they haven't done. Karen Valentine is asking if we could show another clip. Casey, got anything else? Good? Casey's putting one together for you, Karen.
I
But
have a good one when you guys.
What
are-
was the name of the last album again? Power Up.
Power Up.
Dude, what was the song? You guys played it last time you were here too.
Shot in the Dark.
Shot
that
in
was
the
Dark.
that was the big.
Love
single
that,
off
dude. That is
record.
such a
Yeah.
good tune, man, and it reminds
Yeah.
me of old school AC/DC.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
that's
It's
a
got
great.
that good intro.
And they
Absolutely,
played
man.
it last time. they were
There's
here.
another great song off of that album called Winds of Change or Winds of Time.
Through the Mist of Time. Is that
Through
what
the
you mean?
Mist
Oh
of Time.
yes,
There it
that's
is.
it,
Yeah.
that's it. Yes.
That is a great,
That's a-
and that's
it's a
like
good
such
album.
an homage to the past. Like, yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
fantastic album.
I'll be honest with you. I was doubting that the love I'd have for that album because it was one of those Taylor Swift Target releases. I don't know if you remember that. It was like, oh great, AC/DC joined the Target release team.
Mhm.
But damn, it was a good album, man.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I bought look, man, I'm not gonna lie. I bought the Target edition. It came with like the T-shirt and all the fancy shit in the box. But I was like, yeah, this is actually it's a good record, man. It's a good record. And
It
for
is.
a band that's still
It
putting
is.
out music like that.
Hell
it's-
yeah. Now, I want to go back a little bit into the beginning of the interview with you, Dan. And
Sure.
you were mentioning that by the way he holds the guitar, by the way he shows his hand. I want to know, how long did you study maybe some of the movements, or how long did it take you to learn what went into all that?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm always trying to improve the show. I don't have any plans to eventually have an I'm there moment. So, the studying for me is like an ongoing thing. But I have been a huge fan of AC/DC from the first time I ever heard him.
Hell yeah.
I still remember the first time I heard him. I turned on a video game. I think it was like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and the intro soundtrack
Yes,
was
they were-
TNT.
That's
You know
right.
that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was just like, dude, what was that? I was instantly hooked, and I just instantly had to know more about
Was that
AC/DC, who they were, and everything.
Hawk
And
fan.
Tony
from
Hawk
there,
3, I
I was
I think
hooked.
there's not 3.
My son found Kiss the same exact way through a Tony Hawk game.
Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yeah.
That you
Yes.
can unlock the last level.
That's such a great.
And
game,
actually,
dude.
if you skated across and collected all the Kiss letters, they would actually come
They
out
come out,
Yes,
yeah.
and
that's right,
perform rock
that's
and
right,
roll all night. And you
that's
could
right.
bounce off.
But
like
I
fireworks and
think
shit.
you were Tony Hawk 3 was AC/DC, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong, but I know
Maybe.
that's the game
Uh,
I played the most, I think, besides Underground, and I remember AC/DC being in that game.
Could have been 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was one of those
Yeah.
two. It reminds me because you go back to games like that of that era of games, because that would have been PS2, right?
And here, not
PlayStation
to-
1, 2.
Not to overly excite you, but within the past 2 years, they've gone and remade the game.
I have them. Yeah.
They've totally re-digitized them,
Mhm.
I'm
you can go back.
I'm not always a fan when they do that because it just changes. Like Halo, when they redid, like if you play the new release of Halo, you can hit a button and it takes you back to the old graphics of Halo, and you hit the button, it takes you back to the new graphics of Halo. And you're like, man, I kind of do love that old feel of that game. And Tony
Yeah,
Hawk
yeah.
3 was just something about that game. It was fun the way it was.
It's actually
yeah.
the remasters, only 1
Yeah.
and 2.
I was thinking
There's a nostalgia
remember-
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. There was SSX Tricky was the one I was thinking of with
Yeah.
Run DMC.
that
It's
game.
tricky to rock around. But that
Yeah,
was another one where it's like, I loved Run DMC, and here comes this game, Tricky. And again, they tried to remake that, and
Yeah.
it just didn't work, man.
Come on, man. I
It
go
didn't
back to
work.
Skate or Die. You remember
Yeah,
Skate?
I remember Skate or Die. Dude, bro. You're talking. I remember ET when it came out on the Atari.
Oh, they said that was the worst. Do you know that game sold so poorly they had to bury thousands of copies in the
there's a
desert?
good documentary about that.
Yes.
No, but seriously, I remember having the original Atari, man. My buddy, oh man, I forget his name. He lived around the corner from us. Fred was his name. Fred, if you're out there, good man Fred was. Fred Mann was his name. Fred Mann.
There we go.
Uh-oh, we're looking at some
That's a
Phillies
home
over here.
run.
We got a home run over here, just so you know.
There we go.
But Fred, back then, he was the first one. His family had a little bit more money than everybody else's family, so he had the Atari first. And we used to go over there and play those like adventure game where
Yeah.
you were basically just
Mhm.
this block dragon going around looking for a key. You know,
The
it's like
graphics were
yeah.
Chasing the Dragon.
Yes, chasing the dragon.
chasing the dragon.
Chasing
Yes.
the Dragon. Speaking
Oh,
of rock for
man.
recovery.
But look, can we have another clip, Case? Casey's got
Yes,
another
yes,
clip,
we are-
Dan.
we
We're
are
gonna play
clipping.
another clip, baby.
Great.
This
Great.
is for Karen. Let's
While we do that,
So this one is actually from our 2021 show, which I think was the first or the second show.
Come on,
That's
man.
killer, man.
Come on, Dan. Come on. Dude, if anybody is watching this, if anybody watches this later this week, you have got to see this band live because that was nothing, man. That was absolutely nothing. Dude, that was amazing, dude. I love you, bro. You
I love
really
you too,
you bring
man.
back so many good memories for me. And
Absolutely.
I was telling these guys before you came on, dude, you're just a damn good human being, bro. You know what I mean? You're just like
Thank
you're
you,
just a
man.
good person, man. And I love that about you. I love being around you. I love the energy that you have when you're around you. You're just one of those people that you like to be around because he exudes this really like really cool energy, when he's around. And I appreciate that about you, brother. I
Well,
really
dude,
do.
same to you. Really.
And I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I got to tell you one thing, though. Of all the clips
Yeah.
Casey finds, right? If you
Uh-huh.
noticed in the beginning of that clip, the screen had these little dots. That's when the screen went down. It's
Oh,
another
wow.
reason why the old screen has now been repurposed. So
Yeah.
And then there was no screen for it because they were back there frantically trying to fix the wires and put it back together.
Oh, man.
Because, dude, when you get bands like this that are rocking the hell out of an old screen like that, man, stuff starts to move. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, shit. We had to go back. But, dude, look, there's Karen. She says, I love it. Sounds great. Looks great. My first time ever seeing AC/DC. See that? That's what I'm saying. You guys are giving people memories, man. You're bringing back memories. It's like, when you smell something or you take and you're like,
Right.
oh, that brings back these guys give you that. And I'm hoping I'm really Joe Morrison
That was
said
your first one.
his first one Joe
So
Morrison.
that was the show that Kevin melted the subs on.
Yes,
So
in
Kevin was our
2020.
sound guy, but well before that, we did one pre-COVID, and that was we had Albie doing sound. We didn't have subs.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
You're right. Dude, this place has it's come a long way. I'm thinking about the penis.
And you know what else was cool? A show like that. We had that was our
Casey's dying over there.
goodness. We had that was our first show we ever did. That was really us putting on the whole production. We had a Genesis tribute come in, and they kind of brought everything with
They
them.
were great
They
too,
were
by the way.
fantastic.
Man, what's
They
the name of that band?
The Genesis Experience.
The
We used to have a
Genesis
poster right
Experience.
there, and I finally
Yeah,
took it
man.
down.
They're a really good band, man. They're really
good.
solid Genesis band, man. They're really, really good.
They do the tours.
Yes,
So they'll
yeah,
actually do their whole show is emulating, the Duke tour or something like that they would do.
They did the Abacab tour here,
They did the Abacab
which
tour,
Uncle Rob opened up for
Oh.
in JFK Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep,
shit.
Yeah, the Abacab tour. at
But
JFK Stadium,
the one thing I always liked about the Back in Black guys is, it was our first show with all of our production stuff, and we were ironing out some kinks, and no one, had any problems, anything like that. It was just they worked with us to make sure the show went on, and that was really the important part. But yeah, the first show that December 2020 show back, that was when we got the subs from Kevin.
Yes.
Kevin melted his own subs.
Kevin is one of our local he owns a
Spellcaster
Spellcaster, but it's beyond Spellcaster. I'll give you a tip about this guy. So Kevin, we've known Kevin for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
We actually found Kevin through a light.
Yes,
we
Facebook
needed
Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. We needed a freaking light.
If
We
you're ever
found
looking
this
for
guy
a good laugh,
and ended
Facebook
up
Marketplace.
Yeah, he is hilarious on Facebook. But Kevin is one of those guys, man. He's just a damn good guy, and he owns a company called Spellcaster. But his son is now a motorcycle racer.
Yes,
like around the world. Like he's racing Europe and shit.
Yeah,
wow.
And this kid is good. Yeah. I mean, this kid's good, man. So bless Kevin and his son, man. And his other son I think running his.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a venue too. What's that called again?
Cathedral.
The Cathedral. Mm-hmm. He has a small venue called the Cathedral over there, which is a great venue as well. But Kevin's great too,
stuff,
man.
And then they also have the Martin. Their
yes,
hotel,
their hotel
B&B.
they have over there. Yeah, so that's a little shout out to him. But yeah, so when you guys played the one time, Kevin was actually doing sound, and it sounded great until he melted the subs. And then about halfway through the show, we had no more subs. And now we're stacked. We're in good shape. So you melt them again, man.
We did not have enough with just the 2, and now we have 6.
Yeah, it smelled like gasoline, and it was literally the subs melted.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was possible.
We tripled our sub output after that, and the rest has been history.
Right.
So.
All right.
That's because of you.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. We'll make that our new slogan. Back in Black. We'll melt your subs.
Yes.
Hell yeah. 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 It was
dude, melt your face. I was hoping actually in as a matter of fact, I am going to text. I wish Tony could have came on, man. I would have loved.
I think he might be waiting.
Wait, is Tony on?
Miguel commented that Tony was on. I don't see him in the studio, but he is. trying to get on. So
Oh, if he's on with,
contact
you can stay on with him if you
Text.
want, Dan.
Absolutely, man. Let's do it.
Ray.
Yeah, he's like, let's just Dan. Dan, I'm sorry, man. Or Dan, fuck Miguel. I'm talking to Dan. You ready for this? Miguel says, Tony says he's waiting. Yo, hey, Ray. Tony is on. He's literally yelling at me on text messages. Tony, I'm so sorry, man. I had the phone over to the side as I should. Steve's watching the game. He's a bad podcaster. Like, it's a score.
Terrible.
It's 1-1. 1-1.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just hit that homer.
hey, check the ticker
Look,
at
yeah,
the
check
bottom.
the
I'm
ticker,
keeping you
man.
guys
Look, we got a
updated.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
keeping us going.
Casey?
She's keeping us
Hell
up.
Dude,
yeah.
we got the best producer around, man. She's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see him in the studio. But I'm gonna text Steve. He said he's working till 9. He's teaching, and maybe if we
Okay.
can get him on. I'll see where he's at.
Sure.
Says he's on StreamYard waiting. Do you see him? He must be waiting on someone else's StreamYard. Can you tell him, Miguel? Can he log out and log back in?
Just refresh it.
Oh, never mind. Steve says. Steve says refresh. Says Steve.
Refresh, says Steve.
Oh man. Oh,
no,
man.
he's talking like Yoda.
Wait, what did he say?
Yeah.
Yo. But no, we love Tony too, man. You talk about a guy who's got a voice, man. How does he
man.
do it, man? Now you're around him all the time. Does he
Yeah.
talk with that rasp all the time?
He has a little bit.
Not with the rasp, no, but he's definitely got power in his voice. You know,
Oh, dude.
whenever he
how
wants
does
it.
he?
There's no shortage
How?
of that.
Because
Yeah.
you know, when you go to an AC/DC concert or something like that, and you're out there with all these people, and you're screaming
Yeah.
these songs at the top of your lungs, and you get home, you wake up in the morning and you can't talk.
Right.
you're like,
That's how it
"Oh."
is for me.
But
Yeah.
somehow
Mhm.
this guy can sing this stuff and
Yeah.
talk to that night after
Yeah.
the show. Hey guys, good job. Like, man, I can't even breathe.
Yeah, go to karaoke and try to sing a single AC/DC song and see how you feel
Right.
afterwards. This guy
Right.
does it for hours,
Yeah.
day in and day
Yeah.
out. You know,
Karaoke AC.
There is definitely
I've seen
there is definitely a craft to that, man. There's definitely a way of doing that
Mhm.
professional singers know. I
Yeah,
don't know how to
'cause
do
if
it.
not,
but
you break your larynx or break your dick. Yeah.
yeah.
end up like Steven Tyler.
Yeah, it's not like a
Yeah.
broken dick and a broken larynx, man. I don't know. Steven Tyler broke his larynx.
Broke his larynx.
Did you hear that? Steven Tyler, like
larynx.
what did he do?
fractured his
Fractured it.
larynx?
Fractured. How do you do that?
Yeah.
man?
I didn't realize that was physically possible, but
You're trying to.
Apparently
squeeze
it
Now
is.
in
that I
there a
think
couple
about
times.
it, there is a way to do it.
I mean, you see the side.
Yeah, no, you actually can. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a fracture in a normal sense. But
Enough
you can-
balls to
you
your
can
chin.
break
I'm
it.
sure you can break that sucker.
Oh my lord!
You can break it. I feel like I knew somebody that did that.
I apologize for
Yeah,
these.
Don't
guys.
apologize to me, dude. You broke your larynx. Come on.
Larynx.
I've never heard that in all my life. Have I ever heard?
But when you're a
Yeah.
75-year-old guy singing like
need an-
Steven
you
Tyler
need an overdub.
sings,
He's broken a
That's
lot
weird
of
true.
things.
shit happens.
Yeah.
that's true.
He's broken
So-
a lot of things, probably.
It's
Things
that
we don't
damn
even know.
dream on that he does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
my
oh my
dream.
God.
Do you
You do
do
that night
Dan?
in, night out.
While I'm waiting to see if we can get Tony on here, do you? Is there any other bands you play in? Is this just the only
Oh.
band that I don't think you do?
Yeah, Back in Black's it as far as bands. I'm the musical director at my church, so I have
Oh,
that.
I
going.
remember that. I
But
remember that. Yeah.
but no, Back in Black is my only band.
Now, do you have like one of those rock and roll churches?
No, no. we're-
He goes
we're
from
not a rock
Hell's
and roll
Bells to
church.
church.
Can you
As a
imagine
matter of
that?
fact, I play the piano at church.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
You play the
most of
piano?
Yeah,
What? I did not know that about you. See, you learn
Yeah.
something all the time.
as
I
a
do
matter of
remember
fact,
you were the director, though.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I played the piano before I ever picked up the guitar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
so-
always heard that if you learn piano first, it makes the other instruments a little bit easier to learn.
Mhm.
I can see because you're understanding notes and chords. Yeah, I can
It's
see
a
Yeah.
lot
that.
easier to
I can
understand
see
the
that.
theory behind it.
Yeah, true. So so how are you? Are you better at piano than you are on guitar?
No, I wouldn't
No?
say that. I mean, it's apples to oranges, really. You know, I
Yeah,
play in a
different
in a
style.
vastly different
Yeah.
style on the piano than I do on the guitar. But I would say, as far as skill level, I'd say I'm probably a better guitarist than I am a pianist, but roughly equal.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's
That makes sense. Good for us. Do you do anything on your like? Do you write any music on your own ever?
Rarely. I would like to write music, but I don't get the time to all that often between
Yeah.
the band and the church and everything. It's just
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are busy.
yeah.
Very busy.
Which is good. Like I
Yeah.
said, they're traveling to the West Coast, man. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys are. This is a serious AC/DC experience. That's what I'm saying. This isn't. If you even like one AC/DC song, come for that. Now you guys always play the Jack for me. That's just
Yeah.
one of my songs, man. I
Yeah,
love that
definitely.
song. It's just there's just something about the song. It's like an anthem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
back, especially an anthem from my youth. When I was in the military too, that was one of our songs. AC/DC was one of those. Those you put it on and you get ready.
Focus,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get ready, and it was just
Right.
and she's got the Jack, man. It's just like that song. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. But I appreciate you, brother. I don't know what happened to Tony. He may be in another time zone here.
I'm not sure, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna text one more time,
All right.
and then I'm gonna text our boy Steve and see if he is
Steve.
out of anything for these guys too. Any other things from the sheets from our producer that we have for them? While I try and find little Steve. I just talked to Steve. Where is he? Oh, there he is.
There he is. Yeah. Yes.
A lot of dead air, guys.
Ah, sorry.
I
this is
know.
not good.
He's watching
you
the
go
game.
into this whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
looking-
put this down.
Yeah. What in the world? What in the world? No,
Yeah, what was the score?
I don't want to. I don't want to keep Dangus waiting here. So
Yes. No, I was just trying. I'm texting Lil Steve, see where he is. I call him Lil Steve because we have Tall Steve.
Okay.
Little Steve
Okay.
and
Oh,
Tall
So
Steve.
man.
we
He
got to
said no
designate
response
Little
from
Steve and
Tony.
Tall Steve.
Yes, exactly.
it's the best when we're together. Somebody
thing-
says Steve, and we both turn.
The thing in the
Yeah,
notes
yeah,
that blows
yeah.
my mind is it says your band performs over 80 songs. You guys
Yes.
have 80 songs in the repertoire, man. That's
We sure do.
impressive.
Yeah. Yep.
What are some of your favorites, Dan?
Oh man, I like them all. Dirty Deeds. I mean, I know that is of course a big hit, but that groove will just never get old for me. And the guitar solo, it's just classic Angus. For Those About to Rock, of course, especially being that we send it out to the troops, that has a special place in my heart.
Yep.
Up to My Neck in You. That is a
great
deep cut
tune,
we've
man.
been doing a lot lately.
That's
and
awesome.
I love that song. It just rocks in a raw way. And a lot of people, even people who haven't really heard that song a whole lot before, I hear from them that they like it. And the same is kind of true of Snowballed off For Those About to Rock.
Yeah, that's a great
most
album.
people who aren't huge AC/DC fans who know the B-sides would not know that song, but I do hear from a fair number of people at our shows like, what was that one song you guys did, like Snowball maybe? I was like, yeah. And they say they like it. So
That's
those-
awesome.
those songs, I think that it speaks volumes for the quality of the songwriting when someone who's never heard it before
Yeah.
and who hasn't heard it on the radio 100 times like they have with You Shook Me All Night Long can appreciate it right off the bat. That says something
Yeah.
for the quality of the song itself.
Now, is that like Shook? Is that one of the ones you guys basically have to throw in there every night?
Yeah,
You know, I'm sure there's a guy, TNT and stuff like that.
Right.
It's
right.
what
Bells,
what
bells.
is probably the deepest cut that you guys go into?
We do plenty of deep cuts, but What's Next to the Moon is the one that probably comes to mind most immediately. That is definitely a deep cut, but
What album's
that's
that
the
on?
one. That is Powerage.
Oh, is it
That's
really?
the debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's God, that was a good album. I remember that album, but it was like it was overshadowed, by the albums after that. Though,
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, but so I didn't realize they had that many songs in a repertoire. Is there anything that say a more popular song, not as much of a deep cut that you don't play that often? That people ask for? I feel like we need to ask for a song now. Yeah, this
Well,
is a song.
you know, I'm a big fan, and I have yet to see an AC/DC tribute, and I've seen quite a few play Night Prowler, and I absolutely
great song.
friggin' love
Mhm.
Night Prowler.
I can
guys do
practically
Night
guarantee
Prowler?
we'll do that. We
Oh, really?
oftentimes
There you
do
go.
it around
That's
Halloween.
That's a great
man.
song too.
Hell
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, we
What was
oftentimes
that?
do that.
AC/DC did a couple songs for films.
Yes.
Do you remember what they were? Because the one was really good. I don't even remember the
Big
movie.
Gun.
What
They
Big
did
Gun,
Big Gun.
That was
What movie was that?
Last Action Hero.
Yes,
yes,
and that's. Do you play that?
on occasion we haven't
there's
done
one.
it in quite a while, but we have done it before. And Who Made Who? That was also
Who Made
for a
Who?
film,
Who Made Who, yeah.
Maximum
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Overdrive.
anything off of Maximum Overdrive. Yeah, they did the whole
Right.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Horrible movie, but great soundtrack.
yeah. And
Casey's got something here.
What you got?
I just looked up a few since you guys were going on it. You have Thunderstruck and Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got Gone Shootin' and Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Gone Shooting's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Cheesy
friggin'
and
love Gone
Talladega
Shootin'.
Nights is the one
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
TNT, I want to say, is
But
probably in,
Maximum
like 30
Overdrive. I
movies.
totally forgot that was their soundtrack.
Yeah.
Highway to Hell and the School of Rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's right. The
Original,
kids
yeah.
do do
That's
that. Yeah.
Well,
there's
that
a-
and then they have that. I mean, there's a
Long,
couple songs. with Little
yeah,
Nicky.
they also did Long Way to the Top
Yep.
in the
Yes, they
same
did.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking more of songs
Oh,
they
I'm-
did for movies, not necessarily songs that were in
Lil
movies.
Nicky,
Yeah.
man. That
and
was-
Iron Man 2 that featured some AC/DC tunes.
Yeah, that
too.
was a big
that-
presence of
That's
AC/DC in
that is the military. I'm telling you, you have that same feel
Right.
you get with Iron Man. You get that feeling when that music plays. But I always remember, I totally forgot Maximum Overdrive. That was actually a really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
man.
hell yeah, dude.
That was one of those. It was like Queen did. What was the soundtrack Queen did for? Oh my God, I did like the movie, but everybody hated it. Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Yeah.
Flash Gordon was a huge bomb, but that album was one of Queen's best-selling albums of all time. Flash Gordon soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I liked the movie. It was a bomb. But Maximum Overdrive, I remember I worked with Stephen King a few times. I actually
he
did.
dropped it.
That's awesome.
Sorry,
man.
we were on this
He dropped
podcast,
it.
Steve.
Oh, but this is the first Game 7 in 141 years.
Anyway, we were see, you made me totally forget what I was talking about. Maximum
Don't
Overdrive.
worry about me.
I worked with
Working
Stephen
with
King a
Stephen
few
King, I
times,
want to hear this.
and
story,
he
man.
and he said that during Maximum Overdrive, he spent most of his time on the phone with George Romero from Dawn of the Dead, and
No shit. Yeah.
asking him how to direct because they were
Wow.
friends, and he's like, I don't understand. What do I do here? He
Yeah,
said
that was his first
yeah.
direct.
Yeah. He said he spent
Yeah.
most of his time. It should have been his last, but but the soundtrack, I do remember that soundtrack. That was a good soundtrack. And the movie was just bad. I did like the truck though with the lips on it. Remember?
Oh, he's
the
writing the
clown
list
face.
tonight. Now,
Remember
this is
that?
a first. That's a first right there.
Wait, Miguel just said.
He's writing a list.
Miguel
tonight.
just
Yeah.
said we're actually going to get a set list prior to you arriving. No, he
We are
usually does give
famous.
it to me, but you know what's funny about Miguel? What I love is he'll handwrite it in like magic marker on a napkin, and bam, and take a picture of it and send it to you. You know, and it's like, and then
Yeah.
like some songs are sideways because they didn't fit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And then
like roll
some-
up the paper.
Some have a little like a little caricature to them
Yeah.
too. You know, like a lightning bolt or something. you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
But and look, is all I love when you play the jack. It's one of my songs. It's one of the songs
Yeah,
I
man.
love, and I appreciate you guys doing it every time you come out. He just said you're gonna do Who Made Who for another one of our guys who's seen you every time you play, Joe Morrison.
Yeah.
and yeah. So Who Made Who is Joe's song. So I like that this is a band that you can almost say, hey man, can you play that song?
Mhm.
I didn't know you knew that many songs.
Yeah, man. We know quite a few. So, Miguel's writing the list tonight. Now is the time to put the request in. This
Oh,
is,
no, man.
now or never, man.
We need something off Maximum Overdrive, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let's,
Can you do Flash Gordon by Queen?
Ah.
I think we
Could
might
you
get
imagine?
some very interesting comments if we did a Queen song.
Dude, could you imagine?
Yeah,
That would be
right.
hilarious. Man. Has AC/DC ever done any covers?
I believe they've covered like Johnny Be Good and some other like
Mhm.
blues tunes, but not,
No.
not very often. Maybe very here and there. They've done the occasional cover, but yeah, not not very often at all.
Yeah. How about anything? Any collaborations? Have they ever done any collaborations? Because
I don't-
like a lot of them, you'll get a collaboration. Like a lot of bands before what's his name died. Case, who's your dad's favorite guy there? What the hell's his name? Fucking your dad's
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash?
A lot
Oh,
of people
yeah.
did collabs with Johnny Cash,
Right.
people like that. I'm wondering if AC/DC ever did anything with anyone.
Yeah, not that I know of. I know they did do a live collaboration with the Rolling Stones one time. You can find a
Mhm.
video of that online where they
what
got
song
up with
was
the
that?
Rolling Stones. It was just a blues standard. I forget what song it was exactly, but I
to
know
look that
Angus
up.
plays a 335 in the video, and dude,
Really?
you should see it. I mean,
Mhm.
he's a pretty short stature guy to begin with. He's 5'2".
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with a 335 in his hands, I mean, he looks
Did you-
extra small.
Oh, I have to look at that. I have to look at that.
There's
Yeah,
your
AC/DC and the
song
Rolling Stones.
for Maximum Overdrive, Sink the Pink.
Sink the Pink.
Yeah,
That is a great
Yeah.
song.
it is.
You guys do that?
We did. We have done that in a couple weeks running now. So there's
What?
Miguel. Can we throw that in if you're still on?
Miguel, Sink the Pink. Got some great video for that one, baby, including a hoodie.
There's also Chase the
I'm going to bring back
Ace.
the hoodie all day.
Chase the Ace.
Chase the Ace
was
is
a good
on
one.
there, too.
Sink the Pink's a great song, though. That's
And
a good
Shake
song.
Your Foundation's
Shake
a good
Your-
one too.
Oh,
man.
that's where Shake Your Foundation came from.
Yeah, that's on Fly on the Wall. Yeah.
Okay, Fly on the Wall. That's right.
but it was still
Yeah.
used in
okay.
Maximum
Yeah,
Overdrive.
Yeah.
that's a great song. Fly on the Wall's another album. Man, AC/DC
Just
has
chime
so
in.
many albums, man. But
They
all
do.
right, we
I
are.
have this. Do you guys want to take a look at the AC/DC Rolling Stones video?
Oh yes,
quick?
you have
Yeah,
it
I
real
have it-
quick.
I have it
Oh,
pulled up for
dude,
you.
here it is. Here it is.
All right.
Hold on.
Great.
Uh-oh, here it is.
Rock Me Baby. That's it. That's it.
What year was this? This is old, man. I think Keith was only about 68 here.
See, there he is with that 3.
Oh man, that thing looks huge.
That's hilarious.
Look at the
Oh my
size of that guitar. That's insane.
That's incredible.
Oh my god.
Bigger than he is.
Looks like a stray cat. I love this song too, man. This is on their Steel Wheels live album, I think.
Yeah.
I want you rock me, little girl, until my back ain't got no bone.
Dude, that is hilarious. And that's it. Just who else is in there playing? It's Angus and who? I can't see.
I want to think now Ronnie Wood's in there.
Yeah, I see him now.
Keith's in there. Malcolm's in there.
See, I don't see Malcolm. Where's? Oh, there he is. Oh, this is cool, man. You just turned us on to something we've never seen, man. That's
This is
great.
awesome.
Great. Great.
Oh my God, that guitar looks so big. That's almost comical, man. But you know what? For this style of music, I mean, you're not going to get anything. You know that guitar sings this music. You know.
I don't know how much of a duck walk he doing with that thing.
No, he's not doing anything with that, man. That was awesome. That was
That will
awesome.
not play on.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I don't think that's their song.
Oh, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, that was great though. Thank you. All right. Well, we are going to let you go, brother. It is 9
All right,
o'clock.
man.
I was waiting to see if Steve was coming on. He did say he
Yeah.
just finished his thing. Do we have Steve at all, Case? Just to say hi to him real quick.
I don't have Steve. I don't have Steve over here.
Just so you know, Miguel has sent me the first 5 songs, and
Is it on a napkin?
No, they are written neatly on a piece of a sheet of white paper.
Look at that. Look at that. That's fantastic.
That is something I don't see. It's usually always a black magic marker.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Or
always
a
Very
text.
thick black magic mark.
Yes. But we love him, man. He's one of a
Yes.
kind. Where we at here? All right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we are all good. with Dangus, right?
All right.
Yes.
I don't want to keep him waiting.
I was
Thank
just
you so
I
much,
was just
my brother.
again texting Steve just to see if he wanted to come on and say
Yeah.
hello real quick.
Well, hey, they can come on.
But Dan, I love you, man. You know
All right,
that, brother.
Love you too, man.
You've become a dear
Honor hanging
friend.
out with you
and
guys
Miguel and everyone.
electronically, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
absolutely,
Hell yeah.
brother.
Hey, safe
All right,
travels,
man.
and we will see you on Friday.
Sounds
Tickets
good.
are still on sale for the show. Correct,
Yes,
Case?
indeed.
What's the ticket price again?
Ooh, don't put me on the spot like
All
that.
right,
Give me
so,
1 second.
well, tickets are still on sale. If you're a
Yep.
vet,
They
we
range
also
from 25 to 45.
25 to 45. So you want to sit down and you want to see this show, maybe even get Dangus, as we like to call him, to walk across your seat. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because are you
Yeah.
still doing that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he gets right on.
Absolutely.
He goes, from armrest to armrest across the
You want
road.
some Dangus sweat on you? Pay
Yeah.
the 45.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
worth
yeah, the
the
splash zone.
$45. I'm telling you, it's worth it. But we also, if you're a veteran, we do a thing now with vet ticks.
No, 4.
And
Okay.
what was that?
No, I just had her turn Dan back up.
Oh,
Couldn't hear.
okay. Yeah, so we do have a thing for veterans now. It's called Vet Ticks, where they can go on. We get closer to a show, we release some tickets to them, so the vets can come on, can come in and see a show, and we thank them for their service and everything. And
That's awesome.
it's a great way. It's a great way to give back here
That totally
from
kicks
us here.
ass, man.
Yeah, it's really
That's
awesome. We
awesome.
love it too.
Mhm.
Steve brought it to our attention. It's something there it is, vettix.com. If you're a vet, sign up. There's some tickets on there for this show and a lot of shows, man. There were actually Eagles Jets tickets on there.
Wow.
There's tickets for like some stuff going on from like everywhere. So it's really cool. It's a really good thing that if you're a venue or anyone out there and you're giving back, or a lot of it, believe it or not, is actual ticket holders. I saw for a lot of the football games that can't make it, they actually put those tickets out for vets, which is really cool. And it's
awesome.
appreciated. It's appreciated. Again, Dan, thank you, man. Safe travels. We will see you Friday, my friend.
Thank you, man. See you in a couple days.
Great
Absolutely,
talking to
brother.
you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man. All right.
There he is.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So real quick, just to recap, we got we have the Appetite for Destruction. Thank you again, Absolute Vodka. We have the Appetite for Destruction. We talked to John. He's fantastic. You're going to open up for AC/DC. The Back in Black. I call them AC/DC. It's like, I swear to God, it's like watching AC/DC. They're opening for Back in Black. Kind of, to me, it's almost like a double co-headliner show. And then we have on, what was that?
Double feature.
Oh, so God.
We're close to Halloween.
Yes, we are. But then we have, of course, the if you want to watch some Nightmare on Elm Street again, Johnny Depp's first film. Back, I have some little things here. It was I don't know. I messed up my papers case.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, the movie Johnny Depp's first film, released in 1984. I didn't know this. Did you know the first movie cost less than $2 million to make? That's pretty cool. And Freddy Krueger has less than 10 minutes of screen time in the first movie. I had
That
no
sounds
idea.
about like Jason too.
I had
That
no
that
idea.
just
That's
shows
Friday the
you
13th
how
shit.
scary he was in that first film.
Yeah.
That his impression lasted on you.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
So-
That's a good fact. And then Freddy Krueger was Wes Craven's school bully's name.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
That is cool. But look, you get
Talk about like childhood trauma.
Oh, see, that's why you can't do that.
yeah, because then you double talk on
Yeah.
us.
Just bring yourself up.
Yeah, you just got to bring us up and
Bring
down. You're
yourself
good.
up.
We're learning on this. We're like Casey is producing. She's learning. She's doing a wonderful job. We love her so much. The last thing I want to do is if you could put up. So we were talking to the Lynch Mob, because if you're a fan of the Krueger movies, you'll know that the third movie, Dream Warriors, the theme song was done by Dokken. Guitar player at the time for
Yes.
Dokken was George Lynch. The Lynch Mob just played here with our good friend Jaron. They just released their new album. Can you put that back up one more time, hon? So their new album is we were trying to get him on to talk about the song and a little bit about Dream Warriors, but unfortunately they're traveling, and with the release of the new album, which came out October 20th, he's busy as hell. They will be back, it looks like, in October. This will be Lynch Mob's George Lynch
Farewell
tour. And we were going to have them in the fall of next year, and I am looking forward to it. He played 2 hours when they were here, and Jaron was saying that's the longest he's ever really played. He doesn't play that long anymore. And I told Jaron today, I said, maybe we can get 2.5 hours out of him in October, and he laughed and said, we just might be able to do that. So if you're a fan of, again, the Freddy Krueger movies, Doc and back in the day, the Lynch Mob's amazing. They got a new album out right now. I'm sure you can pretty much buy it anywhere, streaming or whatever, however you buy albums now.
It's on Spotify. It's on
is,
everything.
It's everything. So give it a listen, man, and look for them come out. I think we're actually going back and forth today to figure out the date. And the second we have that date, there it is. It's called Babylon. Oh, dude, look at that, man. There is our boy Jaron right there. If you're looking at that picture, he's the second from the left. That is a dear friend of mine. I've known Jaron for probably about 15 years now, and we lost touch for a very long time and came back together when the Lynch Mob came, and we realized, oh my God, we haven't seen each other in so long. And he was playing with Tantric as we spoke, and a couple albums with them, and also is the bassist for Heaven's Edge, which is another local group to the Philadelphia, South Jersey, music scene. So again, thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Steve can now talk about the game all he wants off air. He gets.
You want
way
to watch
too
it
into
too?
I do. I'm dying to get down to the bar and see what's going on.
Here.
Thank you guys. We look forward to a great weekend. I hope we can see a lot of people out. And hey, man, can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Have a good night, guys.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?